Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another Q&A Thursday. I'm your host, Dane Hennen, and to my left, fellow host, Anthony Fisher.
Dane, thank you for having me, and happy Q&A freaking Thursday.
We're happy to have you all here.
We are very happy to have you here, and you know what? This is going to be the final Q&A.
Right.
Before TRCMA.
The big show.
The Rag Company Media Access Event. The biggest detailing live stream in history. So here at the Rag Company YouTube channel, we're going to be going live next week, Monday through Thursday. It's going to be one heck of a show. We are literally 3 days, 17 hours away, starting at 9 a.m. all the way to, I believe, 4 or 5 p.m.?
Yeah, see, they're going through all the way to 5.
There we go. Yeah, so it's, guys, this is going to be crazy. We have put so much preparation into this show. It's absolutely insane. And a big shout out to everybody behind the scenes, Nick, Glenn, Seabass. We got somebody
Jimmy,
back. We got
Carson
Gabe, back there
doing
doing something.
Blaine,
Gabe is running around with
everybody.
his head cut off. I mean, this has been a full-on, over a half a year project is what this is. And so much effort goes into this to give you guys the best show possible. So we have so many amazing brands. I mean, literally, we have... how many brands do we have? Like 30 brands, right? I think
quite a few.
Something like that. And
some you've seen before, some you haven't.
Yes, I agreed. And so we actually have some brands presenting new products. We have brands that you guys have never seen before here at TRCMA. We have just so many awesome things in the pipeline that I can't actually believe that it's like 3 days away.
Yeah, no, it's shocking how close it is.
Insane.
People will be flying into town in just a matter of a couple days.
Yeah,
we will have Joey, Reacher-sized gentleman himself, here. I'm going to give that guy a hug. Never met the guy in person before, but he just seems like a swell guy.
Over you, Dane.
And then Alex, who I've met before, I know is a great guy, so counting on seeing them too. Love what they bring to the show.
We also have several other Grand Ambassadors going to be joining us for the week, and so along with Matt Mormon of Obsessed Garage, and
he's going to be lingering around the studio, vlogging stuff.
We have a lot of fun activities, so it's not just what's going to be happening during the show, right? It's going to be what's happening between the show.
Yeah.
And so really, the idea of TRCMA is really to I guess, give you guys as much premium in the know detailing content as possible, but also to make it really just a big week of media for everybody else involved as well. So people that are coming to visit, people that are here just to support the other brands that may not be on camera. It's going to be absolutely insane. And if you haven't marked your calendar, then please do. Say, hey Alexa, set a reminder for TRCMA. Hey Siri, set a reminder for TRCMA, and just
I'm making sure my devices didn't turn on.
Be ready to go, because it's going to be such an awesome time. And Dane, what are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to the experience of just getting to hang around with a lot of people that we don't often get to see. Maybe like once or twice a year we get to see these guys. Having them all under the same roof here, right here in the building, hanging out. I love that. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to the camaraderie of it all. You had me spell that word earlier. You were doing a little bit of a challenge, a little spelling bee in the office.
I was doing a spelling bee in the
office.
Kind of
enjoyed that. That was
fun. Turns out Nick Kovac is the best speller.
He's great at
in the entire office, possibly even the entire company, and he also has the best handwriting. Now, really quick, so just some housekeeping for this week, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of like a dead week, right, for us, right? It's kind of like...
Doesn't feel like it.
Well, it's not a dead week, but it's kind of like in preparation of, let's just say, finals, right? Finals week or something. And so really, it's all a bunch of kind of last-minute touch-ups, last-minute changes. We have to obviously move around some stuff here and just kind of get everything prepared for the space. But over the last few months, they've been running wires, hanging cameras, hanging microphones, getting new microphones, getting new, we have new IFBs, we have new kind of everything for audio-visual stuff. And this year we'll be recording everything along simultaneously with the live as well. So what's going to happen is if you guys miss out on any of the segments, or you're wanting to see a higher quality version of that, we'll actually be recording that directly into our server, and then being able to edit that and put out those individual videos. So really, yeah, it's a live show, but we're getting so many good videos out of this. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to give us a lot more to work with. Just understand, there's a lot of places out there that'll do, high production videos and stuff. But when you're trying to do this all live and try and do like a trade show thing, there's so many variables and so many pieces have to fall into place for it to work, that this entire show is always a challenge. There's never a dull moment just getting it set up. Things can happen last second, and you just got to be prepared for it. So we make it work every time, but it is like some of the most just nerve-wracking stuff, getting it all set to go. So we really hope you enjoy it, you tune in, and you appreciate what the entire team here has been working extremely hard on staying late nights, getting it built up. So I just want you guys to appreciate that too.
So a couple new products, right? Not a couple of it. I mean, there's going to be quite a few new products launching at TRCMA from these brands, right, which is really cool. So this is going to be kind of their showcase to unveil these, announce these, launch these. A lot of these new products are going to be available during the week at TRCMA. Some of these products are going to be kind of more of an announcement, which you're going to be following in the weeks to come after TRCMA. So realistically, you know, just kind of prepare yourself, because there's going to be a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff will be limited drops. And we kind of wanted to make it to where it was fun, but some of these products we actually had, you're kind of, I don't want to say forced to make them limited, but just due to the nature of these and the timing, they have become limited. So keep in mind that throughout the week there will be limited drops coming. There will be a discount throughout the week, so you'll be able to save on everything. You'll be able to save even more on TRC microfiber, and there's going to be giveaways throughout the week.
I was going to point that out.
Day.
Big deal, and sometimes multiple.
Massive deal.
Multiple
giveaways in the day.
Gabe was saying something to the effect of like over $8,000 in giveaways.
Over $8,000 in giveaways.
Big deal.
And this is stuff that, I mean, you guys, some of the stuff is going to be new stuff, right, that you guys haven't seen or haven't had a chance to play with, and those things are going to be given away. But on top of that, I'm just looking forward to it. I mean, IK, obviously, they're going to be bringing some goodies for us to play with and see, as well as launch. And then we have new towels. We have several different chemical manufacturers launching new chemicals that week as well, which is going to be super exciting. And you're actually going to be able to see them in use for the first time, right? I mean,
and it's live. Anything could happen. That's the beauty of it.
A good example, I mean, I'm kind of like just looking over at the shelf over here. I mean, Optimum's going to be showing up, right? And we have, you know, obviously ONR version 6, which is really cool. We're going to have Hypershine, their new coating that they have, is going to be kind of, you know, revealed and seen for the first time live on camera. And gosh, dude, I mean, the tools, the tools too are another massive part of this. And it's not just like electronic tools, right? It's going to be actual like brushes and other accessories that you guys maybe haven't seen before from companies like Detail Factory. And it's going to be an absolute overload, so just prepare yourself, whether it's placing multiple orders throughout the week or kind of hoping maybe to catch some of this stuff before it sells out, before the end of the week, you know, place your orders then. But just know that this is going to be a massive sale week for us, and we're hoping to get things out as fast as possible, and that's always our goal. But just keep in mind, it's actually one of our busiest weeks of the year, so there might be a few day delay in terms of shipments.
Rivals, if not exceeds, Black Friday.
Yes.
It's pretty crazy.
It
so
is. It's
just throwing that out there for anybody. Like, if you just need to make like a regular maintenance order and you're not looking for anything particular and just doing it for yourself, I'd recommend getting it sooner rather than later, because things are going to get real crazy next week.
And then if you guys have any, last minute requests, any special things, right now is the time to drop them in the comments. I mean, once the show starts next Monday, we'll look forward to your feedback in the comments, obviously during the live show. But if you have any special requests or anything that you want to see, now's your chance.
Also, here I make a point to try and answer as many of these Q&A questions as possible. We really go through and are really thorough, which is how we run over time sometimes. However, during TRCMA, we get to questions, but it is more strategic, where we got to just like pick a few sometimes, because the show has to move on a tight schedule. So just be aware of that too. It won't be exactly like these Q&As where it's a little more loose and we could just literally go over anything. Those are going to be more focused. But I will try and pepper them in there, and I will be your guide through the as hosting on those days. So
thank you,
look
Dane.
forward to that.
Thank you for all your efforts, and you're going to be stuck in that dungeon.
Oh yeah, they're going to lock me in the room.
You're going to be locked in. I think we're setting a 5-gallon bucket in there for you just in case.
Wait,
and then
oh no.
Yeah, so we'll fill with a little bit of water, and I think we'll drop
have to
off.
Choose.
We'll give you.
We'll give you. What if I get thirsty?
We're
That's a
give
problem.
you enough Celsiuses to get you through the week, as well as a couple snack bars and things like that to chew on. But
wonderful.
You can't leave that room.
Okay. And on that note, I'd like to point out, since we've been talking this whole time, and you've probably just been seeing in the background a car getting detailed, Carson. Nice to see you back there. Thank you so much for giving my Miata a little bit of love. I really appreciate that you're doing that.
Absolutely. It definitely needed it. That's for sure. So
I got it dirty on purpose.
That's okay. I'm here to wash it for you.
Oh, thank you. And I know you guys on camera, it may not look that dirty, but Carson, was it really dirty?
It is pretty dirty. Typical Idaho stuff. Quite a bit of dirt and rain marks. But I believe this car's coated, isn't it, Dane?
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually coated it at last year's TRCMA with some Diamond Pro-Tech. It was done kind of near the end. It was kind of like hurried in at the last minute, but I believe they did it then. And possibly partially, so there may be parts that don't have it.
Okay.
But,
well, we're using a lot of Coach Chemi stuff today, actually everything Coach Chemi. And so, shout out to Brandon Purdy, though. I'm using the alkaline wheel cleaner on the tires. He's the one that turned me on to that, so just a quick shout out to him.
All right, shout out Purdy. All right, thanks,
Dane,
Carson.
I think we are ready to jump into some comments.
I agree.
Questions.
So I'm going to pop up first in Puerto Rico. Our good buddy Umberto was, in fact, first today. Got in there. Says hello, TRC team. We appreciate you, Umberto. Thank you for popping in. And LHF Detailing also popping in with a hello, saying second one in. Of course, I'm behind Umberto. Hyper Rock saying let's go. Then we got Jay's Car Channel saying whoop whoop.
Nice.
Get in there. And here we go. What name are we going to give this guy today? Anthony, I'm leaving it up to you.
The one who showered me nameless? What did you guys name him last week?
We called him Captain.
Captain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, now I don't. Gosh, give me an idea.
I called him Cap for short a lot, but
Cap. Okay, I'm gonna call him Chief.
Chief. Okay, so we're moving on to other titles.
Moving on to other titles.
Okay.
So Chief says, "Good afternoon, TRC family from sunny south coast of Massachusetts. Who all is excited for TRCMA? I have Monday off and might take half days Wednesday and Thursday so I can tune in. Right on, dude. We appreciate it, Chief.
Yeah, we're excited. That's for sure.
Oh, dude,
but
we're pumped.
we're also in it, so it's a little bit of nerves going in too.
There's gonna be a lot of segments here. There's gonna be a lot of segments.
And last year, you'll recall a lightning storm gave us a little scare there right at the end. Just when you thought it was almost over, it ended a little too soon, and then it brought it back at the last second.
It did.
So exciting. If you missed that,
the hamster wheels with the hamsters to create power.
The hamsters are running just fast enough to provide enough juice for us to close it out.
Crazy.
At the end. It's wild. So that's part of being live, guys. All right, Dan Pfeiffer. What's he saying?
Good afternoon. Word up from a sunny and warm spring day in Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Looking forward to Q&A today. Excited for TRCMA next week. Heck yeah, dude. We too. We're pumped.
Very much so. All right, so Chief here. My perfect plan to tune into the show live has been ruined by work period. I'll try to be back later, but if not, Anthony Dixon Flannel has just released the trivia. Are you joking?
Shut up.
Are you joking?
No way.
What?
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't need
I think you have to buy that.
I
don't even know what it looks like.
I don't know what it looks like either, but it
could be cool.
It's almost like I got to do it for Trish. You know what I mean? Like this is what Trish would have wanted.
Yeah, this is
wherever she's out there.
Wherever she is, she's still
probably
like
chain smoking in her Dodge Ram. Mad at her mom. Just wanting to escape.
I think in our hearts, we all know a Trish somewhere out there.
We do.
Everybody has a Trish in their life.
You have your Trish moments every once in a while, Dane.
And if you're not sure, maybe you are Trish, or maybe you're Trish's mom. We don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, something to think about, something to ponder.
So funny. I can't believe. No way, dude.
Oh my gosh, that looks cool.
Awesome. Can we get a closer pic of that?
Rad, actually.
Dude, that looks pretty
Trivium
sick.
Ascendancy flannel. What a name. I I feel like I could pull off that color. I like that.
$60. Crap.
Not cheap.
Okay,
but
well,
same
thank you,
time,
Nick,
it's
for
Dixon.
pulling that up. That thing's freaking awesome.
Thank
I
you
love
for
that.
sharing.
All right, so we got Sheepstar checking in.
Yes.
I'm sure Sheepstar is extremely excited for TRCMA next week.
Happy to have you here.
We got TNT saying hi and giving us a wave.
AT&T.
Neil White, love your new hand, Dane.
I'm not sure if he's referencing my thumbnail I made for this. Both my hands are still intact.
Dane, have you been manipulating your hands for thumbnails?
I actually didn't.
Have
I
you
was
been
holding a
making
tool,
them
and I just had to
larger?
use one of my old pictures. Making my hands bigger. You imagine I just go around and I have like these giant clown hands.
Have you been increasing your hand size?
Subtly just
like-
enlarging using like the smudge tool to just like make them
It's
bigger.
like it's from It's Always Sunny. It's the uncle, you know, with the overly large hands.
Yeah, what's the
These
deal?
are my real hands.
It's like Lev or Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder, the monster hands. that
Yeah.
Chris has. Yeah. Anyway, moving along here, I've got Tamara Chase
Saying hello, everyone. Tamara, what's going on? Nice to see you here
Nice
in the
to
chat.
see ya. And
Lucas is going to be exceptionally
Yes.
busy next week.
Very busy.
Michelangelo says, how's everyone doing today? Hey, we're going good. I like your name, dude.
Yeah.
That's a
Dope.
sweet name.
He's a Ninja Turtle.
I like that it's the full thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Not
love
Michael.
that.
We're going full Michelangelo.
Dude, Michelangelo, that's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
Sweet.
Tamara, hello. Sorry, Miss.
It's
No,
okay,
you're good.
Tamara,
it's
you're
all right.
good.
You were excited.
You're in good company here. Michelangelo says, I'm sick as a dog, but still watching for the new drops, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Be
No.
prepared. Next week is going
Next
to be pretty wild.
We're bringing them, man. Bringing it all.
Stay Wet says, just got off work, ready for the show. Thanks,
All right.
Thanks for joining us, Frankie. Dane?
All right, so we're getting a whole lot of talk of people saying, hey, but it is good to see you guys. Josh McKay, good afternoon, everyone. Alpha Tango, welcome back, Anthony.
Thank you. Glad to be
And
back.
Ryan Rigdon, good old Ryan here, saying, good afternoon, gents. We'll be tuning in next week.
Nice.
Thank you, Ryan. We hope you do.
Thanks for joining in.
And then Alex Dewar, he's saying,
Hey, Anthony, I hope you enjoyed our bad roads and friendly people. So I guess I'll kind of touch up on that
touch
for
on
a
that.
second. So last week I was in Canada. That's why I missed the Q&A Thursday. I went to my sister's wedding. So my youngest sister, Alex, she got married, and they wanted to get married in Banff. And so up at the, oh my gosh, the Fairmont, right? It's basically
very
like
fancy.
this castle-like
Very
hotel
nice.
from like the 1800s. And so I was up there for 4 days. I flew into Calgary. Calgary, based on just the airport alone, looks very sad. It reminds me of Mountain Home, Idaho. It's very plainsy looking. But once we got out of that area and kept driving, Banff was like literally like two weird mountain turns away from being like literally deep within this mountainy,
so it was like going from the
beautiful-
Nebraska plains to suddenly being in like an
It was
amazing
the
mountainous
strangest
region.
transition I've ever had, right?
Huh, okay.
Now I want to tell you guys a funny story. This is a very Anthony story.
They're the Rockies up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I told you the story yet, Dane. So this is
let's
kind
hear
of funny. So when I landed in Banff, I when I landed in Canada, so Calgary. Sorry, when I landed in Calgary, the idea was that I was going to take a shuttle from Calgary to Banff. Right, it's a 2-hour shuttle ride, and so I got off the airplane. I kind of ran, got out of security, wanted to make sure I caught my shuttle in time, and I get to it's called the Banff Airporter. Is what the shuttle was, and they have some really kind of fancy looking like shuttle buses, right?
Like Sprinter vans or something?
Sprinter,
or?
kind of Sprinter style, all black with blue lighting inside.
Okay, yeah.
They
Little
each have their
VIP,
own,
little bougie.
kind of look bougie, like a party bus kind of
Okay.
thing. And I get to the front desk, and there's me and one other guy there, right?
Okay.
And we're coming up on the time, and so the driver comes out and says, everybody for the 12:30 shuttle, please follow me outside, right? And the guy was very professional, right? So me and this guy walk out with the guy, and we're walking towards the shuttle, and I kind of look over to the other passengers and say, dude, I think this is just us. I think we get the whole thing to ourselves, right? And this guy with a very, calm personality just looks over and says, yeah, I think so. And I go, well, all right.
Don't sound too sad about it.
Yeah, I guess the guy's not into having a good time. But we get into this bus. We go in and take our seats, and then 2 other women show up last minute.
Okay.
And they jump in the bus. This bus holds, I would imagine, like 24 people or something like that.
And there's
right?
just like a handful of you guys.
And there's 4 of us.
Yeah.
Right? But the whole bus holds like 24 people, right? And so we get inside the bus, and I'm like, well, all right, well, I guess we get to spread out, right?
Yeah.
So I go and sit in one front corner, the 2 ladies sit in another area, and the other dude sits in the very back, right? Well, the driver gets up, right, and gives his whole speech. Hi, welcome to Calgary.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Banff Airport. Our goal is to give you the most, I guess, comfortable and, nice experience here. If there's anything that I can do for you, blah, 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 right? Well, so I'm kind of sitting there, and I go, cool, right? So he goes, to your right, you'll see that each seat has a reclining function, right?
Oh, this is nice.
He goes, please be mindful, and please be fair to all passengers around you, and don't lean back. Don't lean back more than 2 notches, right? And he says, he goes 2 notches, and I'm like, okay,
he's like
notches.
reading off a script when clearly people could just move to other seats and not interfere.
And he goes, and please be buckled at all times. Please nobody stand up. There's no lavatory on the thing, so you can't go to the bathroom. But if there's anything you need, don't hesitate to ask, right? So I look around. The freaking bus is empty, right? It's just me and 3 other people,
Who
right?
is this for?
So I sit down, I put my seatbelt on, I hit that recline button. I'm like, my back's been kind of wrecked from this flight. So
Sure.
I go and lean back, get to a comfortable spot. And then he goes to sit down in his chair, stops, turns, and goes, sir, your seat back.
No.
And I go,
no.
Oh. I go, oh, sorry. I just, so I bring it up a little bit, and he goes, sir, so we're trying to make this fair for all passengers, so please do not recline your seat more than 2 notches. And I go, and I kind of like look around.
No.
There is nobody behind me, Dane. So I'm like looking around, right? And I'm kind of like, what? And then I go, I kind of laugh at him, and I go, oh, well, yeah. And he goes, sir, 2 notches. He goes, please bring it up some more.
This feels like when in anger management gets tased on the plane.
Dude, I felt like I was getting pranked. And so like I bring up my seat back another notch, and he goes to like stand, and he walks over and looks. He goes, sir, we're just trying to make this fair for all the other passengers, so please bring it up to 2 notches. And I'm like, what? The women behind me are dying laughing.
Because you're the one being subjected. No one else is getting it, but like clearly there's only 4 in a 24 passenger bus. There's all the room in the world. You could just sit in a different seat, recline back, and nobody will be affected.
Sitting there, and I'm like, come on, man. So I bring it up to the 2nd notch, and he goes, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate your cooperation with this, and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, just please keep it at this level with the entire trip, right? Dude, I was about to lose it.
Knowing you, this is probably the most like triggering
so then I was like, so
experience.
what's the deal? Everybody in Canada is super nice, but like they have to follow the rules, or like what the heck's going on? So long story short, we did the drive. It was all, it was fine. It was a little bumpy, right? But Banff is really nice. It's a really beautiful town. Yeah. Remind me kind of a lot of like a combination of like McCall up here in Idaho and Sun Valley. Obviously, there's way bigger mountains, and my sister had probably the most incredible wedding I think I've ever not just been to, but like seen on like TV or like anything like that.
Oh, so this was like crazy.
I found out how much they spent, and I calculated that to being like 6,000 Honda Civics.
No. What?
Yeah. No.
What?
Let me do the math. Hold on. I think so. Wait, let me do the math here. 600 Honda Civics?
That might be more realistic, but that's still a lot.
No, Dane, I don't know. It might be 6,000. If we're talking about $3,000 Honda Civics, I think we're, yeah.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Well.
Anyways,
I don't know what all went into that, but it sounds like a lot.
Even 600 Honda Civics.
Sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So.
Wow.
Anyways, the whole thing was just crazy, man. And but I had a really good time. Canada is beautiful. The people are extremely friendly, regardless of the world stuff right now. And yeah. definitely nice. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, that was a story worth hearing because I love knowing that happened.
Do you remind me of? So, have you ever seen Meet the Parents?
Yes.
Do you remember when he's going to the airport and the
yes,
lady's
that's what I was thinking.
Like,
I said anger management, but I realized like anger management has a scene like that. Due Date has a scene like that, and
she's like,
Meet the Parents has a scene like
now
that.
Now boarding this class, and there's like nobody else there. That was me.
And you're looking around, and you're like, okay, but like, just be human and talk to me. Like, this is silly.
I was like, what the heck, sir? To 2 notches, please.
I'm
like,
following the
2
script.
notches?
What if it was like some kind of like insurance thing that they just came up with an excuse for? It's like if you go past 2 notches, it might break the seat, and they gotta pay for it.
But why
they don't want to
why tell people there's a reclining function?
Right,
don't
like
even
you probably
mention
wouldn't have even known.
It was hidden. I couldn't even see it.
Amazing.
And when he told me, I was like, thank God, right? I go back, and he's like, sir, please, 2 notches. Anyway,
all right. Anyway, that's great.
Freaking
to
ridiculous.
Hear. So thank you for
Hans
that.
says, Abend, happy Tal fans.
Abend. Yes. Tango.
Just an FYI, I'd pay $1,500 for a 10 to 15 hour paint correction class. I'm sure others would as well. If Anthony, thank you. That's
very good to hear.
That's super kind.
Yeah,
that's super kind. Thanks, man.
You definitely would be able to do a great paint correction class.
But I wouldn't be teaching efficiency or anything like that.
No, you would go the obsessed route.
I'd be teaching like crazy things.
You would be like how to fixate on something you have no control over.
Yeah. Yeah,
that would be a specialized
honestly, it would
class.
probably need to be more of like a mental health class than a paint correction class.
Would it act as therapy, or would you need therapy after?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, so this what I'm about to teach you will ruin you and will turn you into a crazy person.
Sign a waiver at the beginning.
Do you want this knowledge, right? And yeah, so basically you have to have therapy classes after we're done.
It's the old pick the red pill or the blue pill.
It is. It's exactly that. Dane, that math is bothering me, so let me just do a quick little math here.
You do that. I'm going to bring up some more comments here while you're doing that. Amber Atkinson here, so excited for TRCMA.
No,
I am
I was
here
way off.
during this live. I'm never here during a live. Yes. Amber, so happy to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, we're able to answer your detailing questions.
So sorry, I was way off. It's not 6,000.
Yeah,
Honda
when you
Civics.
said 6,000, I kind of my eyes were bugging out of my head.
So 60 Honda Civics.
Okay.
60 Honda Civics.
That's a little more. I say down to earth, but that's still insane. 6,000. You know how much that would be?
Yeah, no, actually, it was like 1.8 million or something like that. So it definitely wasn't that. It was definitely 60 Honda Civics.
Yeah,
so.
that would sound like a billionaire's wedding or something
math,
otherwise.
Right? Maybe if there were $300 Honda Civics, which do exist.
Which, I mean, hey, you found a cheap Honda Civic or two in your day.
Anyways, Gabe Garcia says it's going to be epic. Big prizes, big drops, and big fun. So
Thank you,
Gabe is going to be like our Milchek of the TRCMA event. Mm-hmm. So Mr. Milchek. So Gabe will be going around. He'll be hosting periodic dance parties.
Good.
He will be basically people who perform the best will be attending waffle parties.
Mandatory
fun. And then Gabe's already been practicing his dancing, which has been kind of weird. But he's been putting a lot of effort into it.
He's been trying, and that's what matters.
Yes.
All right. Next up, I've got Rags and Brushes.
He is Milchek. Gabe is Mr. Milchek.
He's not menacing like Milchek is. Milchek is straight up menacing.
Yeah. Rags and Brushes says, hi from Mexico. Mexicali, Mexico. Hello. Welcome.
Happy to have you here, buddy.
The problem is, Anthony, Gabe doesn't know that many big words.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. Well, noted for later.
Well, that's why we're practicing our spelling.
Yes.
Tamara says, is that Dane's Miata? It is.
Yes. I love that car.
That
it's a great
is
car.
not for Jag.
Not for Jag. It says Great Dane now.
It did say not for Jag.
It did for a while, where I wanted it to say not a Jag because the previous car's a Jag, but nobody would understand that. That was like the dumbest inside joke of a plate.
That was very Spectrum.
Yes, that was. I got a touch of the tism. Okay, Gabe Garcia. Hello. Thank you for joining us today, Tamara. Yes. And Hans here, setting up an event is hard work. I only had 25 people over for the detailing summit, but was nervous the whole time. Hans, I heard you did a great job with that. Hans, and glad you went on a limb, gave it a shot.
Well, speaking of limbs, did he have any paid viewings of his dragon tattoo?
Ooh, I think that's extra.
Or is that paid per limb?
Probably extra. Let's see. We've got... Neil White. I'm so ready to win Dane's entire DVD movie collection. Oh,
Listen,
boy.
Neil, if you play your cards right, we can make that happen.
I got a lot of old Blu-rays and Hollywood video DVDs pulled from the bargain bin of just movies that I wanted back when.
Multiple copies of Con Air and The Rock.
It's more like Crank and Shoot 'em Up and Southland Tales, which is terrible, but I wanted to watch it anyway. I got it for like $5. I don't recommend it, but it is a weird movie.
Tales.
That is a weird movie.
Okay.
If you
Tamara
don't
says,
know,
say hello to Lucas for me. Tamara, we will say hello to Lucas.
oh man, we absolutely will.
Next
Now,
up.
I'm trying to get it to update, but it is being very slow. We have Wheelie Good Detailing saying greetings all.
Nice. What's going
And
on?
if I can get that to load, let's go. We've got Crone here. Will you guys ever carry PNS natural finish dressing?
So there is a possibility of us technically carrying natural finish. Man, the closest thing to that would be Full Send that we have, which is in the off-road line.
Full Send is great.
Very, very similar chemical makeup there. Slightly different. But that would be something I'd consider if you're looking for something similar that actually has a nice creamsicle scent. But natural finish, also amazing. Sid's been hounding us for that for a while now. I'm sure we will at some point.
Yeah. In the meantime, closest you want to get, Full Send. Full Send is great. Yeah. Tamara here. I have a question.
I've been given X drywall mud buckets, all cleaned out. They are deep 5-gallon buckets I use for my wash. Will those Gamma lids fit?
I mean, if they're 5-gallon and they have a standard lip on them.
If they have a standard lip, I would imagine so.
As long as they're not like weirdly tapered or something. I mean, all buckets tend to have a little taper. But
I mean, if it's gonna be the same as a Home Depot Lowe's bucket, it should work.
Yeah. I mean, the Grit Guard, well, okay, depending, the lids. Okay, so it's the Gamma lids. I thought she meant Grit Guard because they'll all eventually stop as they go in, but
I would imagine probably Tamara, unless
the plastic flexes a little bit too, so you can kind of work it if you have to, but you don't want to stretch it too much. There we go. We got Josh Garner, long time
listener, first time commenter. Welcome, Josh.
Happy to have you here.
Welcome to our cult
from Dallas, Georgia.
We hand you the punch.
I didn't know Georgia had a Dallas.
What? Oh yeah, I didn't know that either.
Today I learned.
But welcome, and we're happy to have you here. Don't go. I mean, basically.
Please don't leave. He just got here.
Yeah, don't leave. Just hang out here. Enjoy the time. It's gonna be fun. Iced Out Detailing says, you, Dane, and Anthony should bring my order.
Bring your order? What, like to you? Like deliver it to your door? Uber Eats style?
There is a price. Is
that one of the door prizes, maybe?
No, but I just think there is I mean, if they're like delivered, you could probably do it for a price.
Personal delivery, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that celebrity deliveries.
It would cost even more if you wanted Levi in on that too, because we would have to.
Maybe we create an app that's like Cameo, but it's just for like non-celebrity celebrities to just show like Z-list celebrities like us to just pop in there and deliver.
I don't even know. Famio, like F-lists. We'd be something.
Please.
We're wishing people happy birthday.
$50 is $50.
Oh man.
No. Lloyd G. Hey, boys. Glad to finally get to sit in on a live one for once. Glad to have you here, Lloyd. Glad you got to catch it live. So far, we've had minimal detailing questions, but I promise we will get some. Let's see. We got Joshy Vibes. What's Joshy Vibes saying?
Says, what's up, guys? Look the live streams. Love the live streams. What's the best wheel cleaner? Ooh, Josh.
Subjective.
Best wheel cleaner is really up to you. It's what you think is going to be the best, but we can kind of guide you some general direction, right? Brake Buster is amazing. ADS wheel cleaner is amazing. Magic wheel cleaner is amazing.
I do love Magic wheel cleaner.
Optimum wheel and tire cleaner is fantastic. The list goes on, dude. I mean, yeah.
Depends on what you're into.
Technic has their fallout remover wheel cleaner. It's also awesome. So there's a lot of options out there. I would say start with a couple and then to start deducting from there and try to, find which one works best for you.
I mean, if you're looking for like bang for a buck, Brake Buster is a great way to start.
Yep.
And then kind of build off that. If it were me, I'd start with Brake Buster, and then once I got used to that, I might go to Magic Wheel Cleaner or something. But Brake Buster is cool because then you can do your tires too.
I think if you're just getting into it and looking for a ready-to-use Brake Buster, it's probably one of the best places to start.
Mm-hmm. All right, iced out detailing. Reiterating, will you two bring my order? That'd be awesome.
Iced out where? We don't even know where you're at.
Yeah, you gotta help us out, man.
Are you in Florida?
Don't dox yourself, though. Rags and brushes.
Says, hi, Anthony. Did you guys sell spare parts for the Ultra Air applicator? It looks like the plastic of the tip is very delicate and didn't last more than 1 month. So the Ultra Air applicator, we do not sell that tip part. I know what you're talking about. We don't have that specifically. Reach out to customer service, reach out to Lucas, and see if there's anything that maybe we can find as a spare or something to help you out there. Usually that part doesn't break. If anything, the bottle would probably break before that would, if it was dropped or it was cold temperatures and whatnot. But reach out to customer service and let's see if we can figure out a solution for you.
And I believe Rag said he was located in Mexicali, Mexico, so that would probably help Lucas track down the order. We got Kevin here. Kevin, I have chrome window trim on my 2019 Tesla Model 3. It's oxidized and has water spots. I tried metal polish and plastics from Meguiar's and nothing. Any tips to restore them?
So if it's oxidized and has water spots, I'm assuming you're using those products by hand. I'm imagining
probably
based off of that. That aluminum, I don't even know if it's, or that chrome that's on there.
Chrome just...
So what ends up happening is, that initial coating from the factory will begin to weather, just wear with time, sun exposure, UV exposure, all of that. And so what ends up happening is it subjects itself to more of that oxidation. Once that starts happening, it creates more texture, I guess, around that. And so that what happens too is that oxidation, along with mineral deposits, gets trapped and it really clings on there. So you really have to get something that's going to be able to cut through that. And I think by hand, you're going to have a little bit of a tougher time. You could try using a machine, like a 3-inch machine, a 1-inch machine with like a stiffer pad. And I guarantee you that would help probably dramatically. I would suggest... this is tough, right? Because I don't know your experience level. But if it was a true chrome and you could not necessarily ruin the brush finish of it, you could take like quad-aught steel wool and you could take a little bit of compound, mask off the paint, mask off the rubber, mask off the window on that trim and try to go about it that way and take some quad-aught steel wool, a little bit of compound, and just make one directional strokes. And that could potentially help. You probably have a brush to look at the end if you don't already have one though. So yeah, that's those things are so cheap, man. I hate that chrome trim.
Yeah,
I wish there was just an immediate delete kit for that, and or you can wrap over it. You could clean them up, polish them, get all the texture out, and then just find a wrap shop to use matte or satin black and do a chrome delete.
Yeah, chrome delete goes a long way if you want to just keep the same parts and not have to actually change out physical trim. That's a good way to do it. Usually not too expensive and easier to maintain too.
Yeah.
So something to think about. We've got Fine Detailing here screaming, is it Monday yet?
Not yet, Ryan, but it is approaching soon. We're excited, man.
Just about.
Neil White says, Dane, I was referring to the TRC thumbnail where you had a wash mitt for a hand.
Yes. So that was slipped over my hand, and it was me kind of yelling, laughing. But, it was for effect. I'd say it worked. Okay. Anyway, it made people think I was going to detail again today, but luckily Carson stepped in and said, I got this. So, thank you, Carson.
I think we forced him. I don't think he volunteered.
Oh, no, I asked him, and he said he was down with it.
I just didn't know why he had a chain on his leg then, holding himself to the floor. Okay, moving on. We've got
Krawanisky.
Pretty confident in that?
I'm going with it. Krawanisky. I'm just
gonna say it today.
I'm just gonna keep saying it.
Say the comment, Dane.
Krawanisky says, what are your thoughts on P&S Stout? I don't see many people talk about it or review.
Oh, man. So, well, we have our recent video where Sydney does the kind of like 6th, 7th month update wash on my wife's 4Runner. And honestly, dude, Stout's fantastic. It's great.
Lives up to the name.
The paint still looks amazing. It's got great hydrophobic behavior. I had a little bit of clogging on the lowers that we kind of just cleaned up. A little bit of APC that helped that immediately. But that vehicle's only been washed twice in 7 months, and it still puts on one heck of a show. And what's also nice too is that Stout, really, I mean, it's a harder coating. It cures up to be a relatively hard coating. And
it's kind of meant to replace Legend in the lineup.
It has more solids in it, and so
but
what's
easier
nice
to use
is that, like, my wife's doors have been filthy because I haven't washed her car recently, but my daughter will take her hands and rub her hands all over the dust every once in a while. And dude, I have seen no micro marring. I haven't seen any swirling, nothing like that. And she's taking her little hands and wiping them all over the doors, and paint still looks awesome.
And you have dark gray metallic paint on that 4Runner, which does show most anything.
Totally.
It's like having a black car.
Totally, yep.
So, not too dissimilar.
No, it looks great still.
So, if you're looking for a review, obviously because we sell it, that's because we like it, and that's why we carry it. But if you're looking for a review, I would say if you don't see many out there, that's a very fair, reasonable read on what it's like to have. Okay. And he's probably got some of the most experience with it outside of people at the company itself.
True, yeah.
So, definitely worth considering if you're looking for a new coating for a vehicle.
AR in SoCal says, first-time viewer from Southern California.
Welcome.
What's the lighting secret to finding swirls while polishing paint? The
White
lighting
paint.
secret... Lightning?
So he's wondering about lighting on a white painted car because maybe it's a little harder for him to see the imperfections.
Dude, really the answer, I mean, really it doesn't matter what color the car is. I highly recommend Scan Grips. The Scan Grip headlamp, the eye match, is probably my most used tool next to like a towel. I mean, like, actually it is probably my
I think
most
you
used
use
tool.
it the most out of anything.
The headlamp there, the eye match 3 is what I have, and it pretty much doesn't leave my head. Really, if I'm doing anything from a decon to a spray, like a spray sealant application, to just wiping things down in my garage, I've kind of just made it a thing where I really always have that thing on. And when it comes to polishing paint, especially white paint, you'll have multiple different color temperature settings on there, so you can change it from a cool white to a warm white, or a mixture of the both, right, if you want to have both of them. And what's nice is between those two settings, you'll be able to really see swirls, scratches, and all of that with just that. I mean, what's nice is, yes, you can have really fancy overhead lights. So obviously we have Cree lighting in here, which is really nice. And that shows a lot of imperfections, but nothing is going to be better than probably something similar to a Scan Grip, if not a Scan Grip, because it's replicating what you would see in the sun. And having that on your head is like a game changer. And I love it for interiors as well. I mean, I throw that thing on. I take out my trash with that thing at night. It lights up my entire street. It's like the best headlamp ever.
Yeah.
And
go jogging with it probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth having, that. I mean, there's a handheld version you can get. Obviously, the Sun Match, which is going to have the magnetic base on it, to where you can mount that up on a cart, on anything metal, and you can use that. But I use those types of lights for everything.
And I do think, and this is stuff we carry, so if you go to theredcompany.com, you can find these lights. They're stuff we carry. But I'd say on white paint, one of the advantages, if you're concerned about that, you can change the color temperature on these lights, because sometimes imperfections won't show themselves on certain kinds of paint. Here, you can kind of pivot that by holding one end and then tilting it. Yeah, you just got to hold, the other way. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So the thing you can do
covered.
with the white paint you're concerned about, if you're not finding it with one color temperature, try switching it up. Change the color temperature of the light you're using. While it's still nice and crisp and focused, sometimes if you shift it from warm to cool or vice versa, you'll be able to see stuff that you couldn't see with the other light. So that's why having overhead lights and stuff, while it helps to a degree, having something that's more pinpoint focused really lets you see where the actual marring, the scratches and stuff are that aren't necessarily visible to the naked eye without.
Yep.
Agreed.
Agreed.
All right. Hopefully that helps. And thank you for tuning in. If you're new, you haven't hit like yet, please do so. And if you're not subscribed, since you're new, give that a little thought too. All right.
Aaron's says, what's good? I haven't been on here because of school, because when you are college students, there's not much time for anything else, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, we get it. College is very time consuming. Enjoy your detail, because the moment at life like college, you are not going to enjoy detail like you do much younger, like high school, unless you do as errands. I hope that you're writing your papers better than you're writing these comments.
Aww.
I mean that in the nicest way. No, so I think that's. I
don't believe English is his first language.
I don't think it is either,
no.
and so we're gonna give him a pass. But
yes. But I understand what you're saying, Aaron.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. So,
dude,
if you're
and honestly,
enjoying it, enjoy it.
Honestly, the older you get too, especially once you're out of college, once you have your career going and all of that, and you have a family, and if you choose to have kids or whatever comes down the road, you have less and less time. And
you have learned that firsthand.
You are at the start of less and less time. But yeah, dude, college is hectic though, especially if you're working on the side or something like that. So
or an involved field
just
of study.
keep up the good work, dude. We'll be here. We'll be doing this every Thursday until we die.
We got your back, buddy.
Yeah, we'll be here till we're old men. So,
speaking of people who will have your back until you die, Jeff C is here. Have you guys used ONR version 6 yet?
So I'm actually going to save that for the Optimum segment next week.
Good call.
So I have not used it yet, and I will be giving you guys kind of my first impressions.
Right on the
review.
spot.
I think I'm actually going to do probably a rinseless wash this weekend with V5, right? So I'll be fresh on V5.
Knowing where the differences are.
And then try out V6. And so I'm really excited. And so I told Dr. G, actually just on the phone yesterday, that I would reserve myself from, trying it.
You will abstain until it's time.
So it's time. And I'm hoping it's great.
All right. Well, You'll be ready when it happens.
But I always love ONR though. So
I've never been disappointed with it.
I don't ever at one point think that product ever got worse, despite what people think. And
it's just other people bringing new and interesting takes on the idea of a rinse list in the market at best. And at worst, it ends up just being things that try and mimic the behavior, but don't figure out what made it actually, so lovable in the first place.
It's the OG.
For good reason.
Next up here, we've got Kron says, "Hey Anthony, will you be live with Obsessed Garage? Rumors you are going up against Matt with a Portuguese bean eating competition."
Oh boy!
Oh my gosh! So we will be, me and Matt will be together next week for a segment, and I'm super excited about that. That's probably going to be one of my favorite segments, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Maybe we'll razz each other, live, or maybe we keep it professional. I haven't decided that yet.
That'd be boring.
We'll figure that out. But so I'll hint this: there will be cooking at some point next week. I'm not going to say what it is, how we're going to do it, or why we're doing it, but just know that there will be a feature at some point in the week live that you guys will absolutely love.
If it helps encourage you more, I know for a fact it'll happen earlier in the week, so you can definitely catch it. As long as you're looking those first couple of days, you won't miss some very entertaining things happening.
It's going to be out of left field for sure.
No, yeah, no.
It's going to catch people off guard.
We love throwing a curveball at the audience, don't we? Because all these detailing channels out here, they're so serious, right? Oh, it's, business oriented. I get that. I understand. There's lots of places you can go to get that kind of information. But if you want to have just kind of a little twist of a sense of humor or something, just a little off kilter, I feel like we bring that to the table.
I agree, Dane.
So I count on that as being our calling card. All right, Crone. Thank you for that. Joey Belinsky
says, "Sorry I'm late. I was watching The Phantom Menace and lost track of time." Joey, I heard you were planning on watching all of the Star Wars before coming down next week. Is that part of his plan?
I don't know. I think he may just be watching the prequels. And I was actually razzing him a bit earlier today when I sent him some prequel memes. But no. There's a good point here that Wheelie Good Auto Detailing has. The Phantom Menace gets a bad rap. The music in that movie is fire. Yes, the music, while Phantom Menace has a rough time, if you're a kid going to see it in the theater for the first time and you think you're going to see this amazing Star Wars movie and you wind up getting a 2-hour-long diatribe about space economics and politics and stuff, you're going to be a little confused as a kid.
It's episode 1, right?
But that's episode 1 with the Trade Federation and all that. But the thing was, that movie had Duel of the Fates, the best song, arguably to me, of any Star Wars movie. Duel of the Fates is a fantastic song, and everybody loves it. Who wrote it? John Williams. Everybody loves that song. But anyway, and you're hearing it. You're singing it to yourself right now. It's just
Do you think? Darth Maul? Do you think he was a good?
I think
villain?
it was very cool. I think it was underutilized until later properties. And Jimmy's nodding his head over here because he's seen animated
Darth Maul
stuff.
was Jimmy's favorite, right?
Darth Maul's really good in the Clone Wars.
Okay.
He's good in the Clone Wars.
Jimmy likes Jimmy likes the cartoons. those are his favorite.
So noted. David Cervantes here. I won't go down to Star Wars rabbit hole. Don't worry, guys. David Cervantes saying, "What's up, guys? Happy to see you here." I love how he still includes tires in parentheses there.
He will. Speaking of tires.
Yeah. Oh,
Speaking of tires, side thing.
Little tire
new
thing.
tires and new wheels came in for
the Raptor.
The Raptor, yeah. So I'm really excited about that. So I went with some, on brand Nitto Ridge Grapplers. Okay. And I'm super pumped on those. 35 by 12.5 70s, and been deciding on which sidewall
You're trying to figure out
with.
which sidewall to do.
So it's a weird,
and it was mixed opinions.
So it's a weird thing. So the tire has two different sidewalls, so you can run either side.
I'm surprised because I'm not used to tires doing that. I thought they usually had the same.
Think of like KO2s, right? You have the white
design.
lettering on one side and you have the black on the other, right? So you can choose which sidewall you want to show.
Get, but I mean, like the blocks are different.
Correct. So the tread pattern, like the
which
design
I'm not
is
used
different.
to seeing.
So there's the chunky block design, and then there's like they call it like the houndstooth, which looks kind of like a tribal design.
It's busier looking.
And
for sure.
as a detailer, the houndstooth design
Less
terrifies
fun
me.
To detail.
I look at that and I go, "Oh my gosh!"
The blocky side.
I would need every Detail Factory brush.
I mean, Detail Factory would love if you did that, but the blocky side, I get why you like that one. It makes sense. It's cleaner looking for sure.
Yes, very OEM plus.
Even though I'm not a fan of like the tribal style of the thing. I just like the way that tread looked on your truck. Yeah. On the busier looking design. Just purely aesthetics, like no reason other than that.
We'll see. I'll make my final decision.
But it was a mixed bag. Everybody was saying different things.
Mounted up on Saturday, but pretty sweet. These things are beefy looking. I'm really excited. I didn't want to go full mud terrain, but I'm excited about these. And
they look kind of mud terrainy. They look pretty chunky.
They look mean. So anyway, Dave, that's tires. Next
up, Alex Dewar. After that shuttle bus story, I'll just pick you up next time.
Alex, I really was like, man, these people take their jobs very seriously.
It was.
Very rule following. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A little bit. Neil White says Banff is on a whole other level of awesome.
It was awesome. It was really cool.
I hope it was beautiful up there.
It was. I mean, I went and explored the whole downtown area by myself, and it was funny because I was trying to look for cars and be like, is there any cool cars here? Out of all of the cars I could have found in snowy Banff, snowy-ish Banff, Canada, do you know what I saw? I saw one tuner car there.
Like one interesting car there.
Yeah. Guess what it was? It's probably the last car you would have think of.
It was a tuner car?
Yeah.
I mean, Mark IV Supras were around, but...
That's literally what it was.
It was?
It was a Mark IV Supra.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mark IV Supra, and I was like, no way.
Sport roof or no sport roof?
T-top. Yeah.
Okay.
T-top on a Mark IV Supra. I go, what the heck? Roof. And it was like in some type of cool like baby blue color or whatever it was. And
maybe
I was
it was wrapped.
I was completely caught off guard that car was there. And then I was like, that's cool. And then I ended up seeing like a RSX, like a Type S, kind of similar to mine in like silver, which is cool. But I don't think it's a major car town, but I did see quite a few cool trucks and stuff.
But looking around the pictures you showed me of it, like my parents used to go there before I was born. Like it was a cool place to check out. But it looks kind of like Sun Valley does here. Like when you're in parts of Ketchum or Sun Valley, like the way the town looked. So I thought, you'd see like cool cars around or something. But Sun Valley Ketchum obviously has its fair share of cha-ching going on around there. So you see some pretty interesting cars.
A lot of money in that town. I found out how much a Canadian Goose jacket costs.
Ooh, what's it cost?
It's like $1,400.
Is that the down payment?
No, I had Dane, I just got that.
Yeah, you like that? Made that up on the spot.
That was a very Gabe joke.
Very terrible. Yeah. I agree.
Okay, moving on.
Carson's dying back there. All right. Moving on. Brian Cal, give Anthony a calculator. He was bothered.
Speaking of Cal, right? I mean, thank you. Yeah.
Alex Dewar, fess up. Admit that you paid the bus driver to irritate Anthony on the bus. That was like targeted behavior for sure. That feels like exactly the kind of thing that would just annoy you to no end.
Please bring your seat back up. Edward says, hello, one quick question. I'm starting to watch cars and I'm working with Teslas and cars in that price point. Did you know some products can damage taillights? How do you work around that?
Are you talking about the taillights specifically on like Tesla Model 3s and Model Ys and stuff? Like, is it plastic, polycarbonate, something like that?
With you, I'm not super. I don't know what products are damaging taillights on Teslas.
I mean, I've cleaned Teslas and stuff, but I don't recall what the taillights were made of.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. I'm not saying it's not a thing. No. So but I just don't know personally.
I imagine they're similar plastic to what everybody else uses in most cases.
Yeah, maybe it was moon plastic.
Yeah, maybe.
Space plastic.
Space plastic.
Alpha Tango says, bro, I'm crazier than you. I'm obsessed with stuff and clueless on how to fix it. At least you know how or when to walk away. That is the hard part. Honestly,
that's a skill.
The walking away thing, that, learning the stuff didn't take me that long. The walking away and letting things go did take me a long time. I'm still working on that, to be honest. So, yeah, that's a tough thing.
Oh, and after the calculator comment, Modesto School District Education in action here, folks.
Can you blame me, Joey? Can you blame me?
Oh, man. All right.
Next up.
So, Archie Nerds, 97.
Spring is coming to Canada, and I have a lot of Hero rinseless left. Can I use it? Can I just use it as my main pre-treat before my contact wash with ADS shampoo? Yeah, totally.
There we go.
Yeah, you can. It'll do something.
And, all right, now we're on to page 2. Sweet. Anna Longfield, happy to see you here. Sup, everyone? Gladly to listen to the homies. It's been a rough few weeks. Excited for TRCMA. Anna, I'm sorry you've had a hard time if it has been a rough few weeks, but we're really happy to have you here and excited that you're going to be watching TRCMA. So hopefully you learn some new things when it goes on, because there's a lot happening. All right. Then I got Aaron's here.
Good thing you were not on United Airlines, because we all know what happened to that doctor from 2017, and things will go south.
Well, we don't want any of that. Archie Nerds, 97.
Spring is coming to Canada.
Again.
And there we go. Okay, we got that one done.
My DVD collection. Dane's copy of Daddy Daycare is gold. Yeah, I don't have that one. Sorry, buddy.
Are you sure?
Hans says $10 per second to see the dragon. He worked out the economics already. Oh, man.
What?
I love that.
Hey, guys, my 11-year-old son and I are starting a small...
okay.
What?
I'm looking for his follow-up comment. That's the only other comment he did, so I'm rolling off of that.
What do you guys suggest for the Georgia pollen? I mean, you can do pre-treatments if you want to do pre-treatments. Really, I mean, staying up on it, right? I mean, I think weekly washes are a must, to at least get through most of the pollen season. Make sure you have some protection on the vehicle. It's going to make it easier for it to rinse off and make it less likely to stick around. Really, I mean, are you pre-foaming? Are you using a rinseless? Like, what do you like to use as far as like your chemicals go? Do you like soap and water washes? Do you like, give me a little bit more information on kind of what your setup looks like, and we can suggest some products to utilize.
But it sounds like he's starting a business with his kid. So something
That's
kind
exciting.
of fun, maybe like a father-son activity.
Totally.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Brian Cow. Pretty sure Dane owns lots of weird movies. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Is he wrong?
I mean, runs the gamut. My favorite movie of all time is probably The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. It's a Wes Anderson movie.
It's a pretty weird movie.
I love that movie. It's so great. It hits on so many different fronts. Yeah. Another great movie I would throw out there, Cemetery Man is hilarious. It's a weird Italian movie from the 90s. Then, you just get other stuff. Crank. Love Crank, even though that's
Herbie the
Love Bug. Love that. Brazil, a Terry Gilliam movie from the 80s. Also great. Anyway, you get the idea. It's A lot of dystopian stuff, a lot of random
You were
stuff.
asking about John Travolta earlier and asking everybody around
I
the
wasn't asking. That was somebody else going. And that
I
other guy,
heard-
and they're like in Face Off, they're like, Nick Cage and the other guy. And I'm like, really? The other guy? And then I said, look who's talking. And everybody's like, that was the weirdest John Travolta reference you could have pulled.
Well, everybody was talking about John Travolta movies, and people asked, hey, what's the first movie you think of when you think of John Travolta? And I think you said, look who's talking.
No, I just threw out "Look Who's Talking" as a reference to John Travolta, but they didn't ask that. I just threw it out there, and they're like, "Of all the ones you could have named, that's what you chose."
Okay.
And it was just funny because that movie, I saw it as a kid, and it was
They
terrifying.
asked me,
the
and
toilet monster was
I
scary.
said swordfish.
Oh, swordfish. I
Also
don't think I
kinda-
remember that for John Travolta though.
Yeah, me either.
It was because of the TVR that was in it. Yes, that was
Yes.
exciting. Definitely that.
Definitely.
Nothing else.
Definitely that. There's
Great job,
no-
Hugh Jackman.
No
Okay.
other reason.
And on that note, what a great way to take a break before we come back for more of your wonderful comments and questions. I swear there's detailing happening here because if we're not talking about it, it's at least still happening in the background.
It is. We're having a good time.
It's a good day here.
Pre-TRCMA,
Yeah.
nerves.
It's
is what
gonna
it is.
it's gonna be a lot. So for the time being, we just want you guys to hang out, have fun, keep dropping those questions here while we take a brief little break. We'll be back after these messages. Hello, and welcome to the second half of Q&A Thursday here at the Rag Company. I'm your host, Dane Hennen, and to my left, fellow host, Anthony Fisher.
Dane, thanks for having me. It's been a goofy stream today.
I know, I've been enjoying it. I love the vibes.
It's been a goofy vibe.
Good vibes.
Welcome back to the second half of Q&A Thursday, where we're going to be answering your detailing questions. We have some live detailing going on in the back with
Car
Mr.
change.
Carson himself doing a car change. We have Glenn's Jeep ready for a wash, so we're going to be doing a nice clean on that.
Engine bay
But
in
to
particular.
start things off, right, we got to just cover it.
Yeah.
TRCMA
Tell me about it.
2025 is happening next week in 3 days. This is happening.
It's so close.
The biggest live detailing event of the year, where we're going to have so many brands underneath one roof. It's live streaming for 4 days straight, all day long, with some of the biggest brands in the industry, including Flex, Rupes, Optimum, PNS, Kosh Chemi. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. Products, right? Or I guess Products, formerly Last Detail. We've got Scan Grip. We've got Detail Factory. We've got Buff and Shine. Did I say Lake Country already? We've got Solution Finish. Guys, it's a crazy show. You can't miss it.
It's a trade show in your pocket.
It's starting on Monday, and we'll be going all the way till Thursday. And again, you don't want to miss this. If you haven't seen what TRCMA is or what it's like, you actually go back and watch previous years. We have a playlist on the Ride Company YouTube channel showcasing that. But really, we're looking forward to an all-new year with all new products and several just amazing releases from some big brands, including us. And we might have a new towel or two dropping at TRCMA.
Really?
Yeah. So, and
Well,
Dane, I believe
I'm
you have
looking forward to
you have a
that.
microfiber presentation.
I do, actually. I have a presentation this year. I pre-recorded and everything.
Yeah, you did, and you did
As I clear my throat.
phenomenal job on this, and I think people are going to be looking forward to seeing you lay down some microfiber knowledge.
I mean, I'm really just trying to give people a little refresher on what it means to be a TRC towel, what TRC's about, all that good stuff.
Give people what they want. I like that. Okay.
A little blast from the past.
Well, we've covered some fun stories in the first half, and I'm sure we'll probably be able to unearth a couple more here in the second. But we'll be here for the next hour, so feel free to drop those questions and comments and let us know what you're excited and who you're excited to see about at TRCMA.
Right. And in the meantime, if you got any questions that are pressing, you need them answered now, this would be a good time to get them out there. So, next week, going to be a little crazy. Going to be focused on the presentations.
Dan.
But here, Dan,
Dang
raining
it.
on the parade.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
But
Good
helpful advice, so thank you for clearing that up. I wonder if that applies to all drywall buckets or if that just happens to be in the particular case Dan used. So, something to consider. Better to measure, and be sure. Joey Belinsky, I'm going to put my foot down before anyone suggests it. I'm not getting foamed.
Joey, you will do what needs to be done.
I mean, to be fair,
TRCMA.
that's a lot of foam. That's a lot of foam.
Yeah, we'll have to empty out a full thing of GSF on that.
Yeah,
man.
the regular amount of foam that'll foam a normal person only gets his legs.
Yes, a reacher-sized gentleman.
Kind of crazy. And then Hans here, wondering, do you personally deliver to me as well?
Hans, we would. We would do it for a price.
Yes.
Considering what's going on with airplanes going on, I'm not surprised your experiences as there are many not so fun part of fly.
Yeah, flying is iffy sometimes lately.
Man, I think that I used to have. Do you remember how much anxiety I had when it came to flying?
Definitely had a lot. And I had to always try and come up with ways to calm me down.
To hold my hand.
Yeah.
I used to be a bad flyer. I used to have a lot of anxiety around flying.
But what if?
Dude, it was super difficult for me for years of just getting on a plane and going on these trips, and I'd have to totally zen out, and then I was not good with turbulence. Not good. I just would freak out.
Denver was always.
I was a tense mess the entire time, and then I think one day I just realized I'm dude, I'm on the plane. There's nothing I can do anyways.
It's not changing.
Me stressing out, I'm not taking. I can't fly the plane. I can't do anything worst case scenario. I think it was just letting it go of I said, whatever happens, happens.
We watched Left Behind. We know what happens.
Yeah. And so after I said whatever happens, happens, I just kind of just started caring less and enjoying, enjoying it. And what's weird now is for the first time in my life, I am actually able to snooze on a plane.
Yeah.
I can fall asleep. I could have never years ago, but now I can.
No. I've been really impressed with your evolution as a flyer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I still think from time to time you'll hit that turbulence and you will look over at me and you'll just give that look and I'll be like, I know that look.
You get that, the drop feeling in your...
It's just the roller coaster effect. It's just a 0G, butterflies in the stomach kind of, that's what's happening right now.
So what's funny is I don't feel it in my stomach. I feel it in other areas.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm not sure what to do with that.
I get you. Well, in my particular case, it's the 0G roller coaster feeling for sure. Yeah. But you just look over and I'm I know, we probably fell 50 feet in that moment.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's a good time.
It's going to be all right.
Alpha Tango says he didn't even think of that. I'll donate $100.
Dang. Okay. Well, Alpha Tango taking the wrong lesson from Joey's message.
Yeah. Carson getting in there nice and deep.
Yeah. Look at that. Love that.
Steve says, hypothetical. A bus with an unnecessarily concerned attendant drops you off in the middle of Canada with a 6-inch polisher, rehab, and a swirled black Tahoe. They offer you one pad. Which do you pick?
That's great. Steve, we need to frame more questions like this. I love that. Please, everybody, congratulate Steve for the great question by hitting like on this video. I don't know how it benefits him, but I love seeing it.
That's hilarious, man. I don't know. I think with rehab, I'm probably either grabbing a Rupes Yellow. I would probably grab, depending on how bad it was and depending on how the micro marring would be at the very end there, you can probably get away with a Buff and Shine Maroon. Blueberry, too. You probably get away with a Blueberry.
Call.
Blueberry, I've been finding finishes out exceptionally well with rehab. So you can get away with that from Buff and Shine. And, that would probably be my go-to.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would do.
No,
I'd be
I like
happy with that.
Okay, I feel you. Yeah. Can't go wrong there. So, Steve, hopefully that helps you out in that very specific scenario.
Carlos, Dane.
Carlos, Colley. Caught it live. What's up, fellas? Got a chance to check out Koshemi Protector Wax. It's good stuff.
Dude, it's a cool experience.
A lot of love for Protector Wax lately.
The sizzles is what we,
the sizzles.
It makes the sizzling sound.
This is like Rice Krispies,
it's
little
like
snap,
it's
crackle,
literally
pop.
It sounds like Rice Krispies when you put it on the surface. It's
Love
funny.
that.
Next up,
Archie Nerds 97 back at it again.
Brake Buster is low key just an high lubricity APC you can use on everything.
I mean, being an alkaline style cleaner, it can work on a lot of surfaces.
You can use Brake Buster on a lot of surfaces. I mean, you could say it's similar to an APC, but I think it's got a few other degreasers in there. I think it's got a few other kind of tricks up its sleeve with the rust inhibitors and whatnot.
Yes.
Also, the tire cleaning aspect as well, right? So there's a different chemical in there that you would put specifically for the use on tires and rubber rather than just painted surfaces.
And it is legitimately good on tires.
It is different. Next up.
Aaron's.
It says, do you prefer the Yeti bucket or the 4.5 gallon for detailing? I know chemical guys have their own 4.5 gallon. So at least Yeti bucket version of it. So we really like the Yeti buckets. My one gripe about the Yeti buckets, I don't want to call them heavy, but they're a
little heavier.
They're just a little bit more of something to haul around. They're really rigid. They're really sturdy.
When they're in a dolly, though, it doesn't really matter. When they're in a dolly, it doesn't matter as much.
No, when they're in a dolly, it doesn't matter. But yeah, and then we have the gray, which look really cool.
Yeah.
But you can't see a lot of that dirt buildup and filth in the gray. So what happens is sometimes we'll empty a bucket, not notice all the sludge and grime at the bottom, and be like, oh crap, we gotta pull this out, give them a deep clean. So it's personal preference, but I have a white Yeti bucket at home, and the white doesn't look as appealing for some reason. In that size of a bucket, the grays look really good.
They do.
But my white one I have at home, I'm not obsessed with it. It just looks it looks like a cooler to me rather than a detailing bucket like these do.
Well, something to consider. So, Rags and Brushes saying, that's right, I'm in Mexicali, Mexico. The average temperature is 120 degrees in the summer, and maybe the heat had something to do with it. I'm going to contact Lucas, and I hope he can help me.
I'm sure he can. We'll figure something out.
I think that should definitely help you out. But yeah, talk to Lucas. He's got you covered, buddy. Joey here. These two got the giggles today.
We do.
I agree.
We do. We have a lot of nerves going into this. A lot of excitement. I think about how do I keep my family happy while I'm essentially gone for a week. Melissa says, yo, what's going on, guys? I have a question for my friend Gabriel, if that's okay.
Is it Baxa or Baja? Maybe the X is pronounced like a ha.
Oh, I wasn't even going to try. I just said Melissa. What kind of tiles or brand do you have on your bucket fill wall? Bucket fill wall. Oh, on his house.
Oh, yeah, on his house?
Gabriel, what
Gabe will have to answer that one.
Gabriel,
he's walking into the room as we speak.
If you're here.
He's walking over very slowly. Melissa Baja
what brand
here.
of tiles do you have at your house on your bucket fill wall?
Yeah.
What?
Your
That's
tiles.
what she wants to know.
My piles?
Not your piles,
no,
your tiles.
Oh. They are... Should I get in close right here?
Please stop it, you weirdo.
Did you see that I commented you're a weirdo too?
Get out of here.
Melissa, just go to Amazon. Honestly, they're the sticky tiles. They work fantastic. Just make sure you clean off your wall first. Justin Deem from KCX, that's what he put in his garage as well. Fun fact. And we put them here in the studio.
Gabriel, you're a trendsetter.
They look
in
great.
The detailing industry.
This is probably the very first time and last time, but hey, I really appreciate that.
It's your time to shine.
Okay.
Where are you going?
I'm cleaning up for TRCMA. I don't know if you knew, there's this show happening.
There's a big show happening next week.
All right, you're not mic'd up. They can't hear you anymore. Yeah. All right, Fred.
Fred Shamrock saying, hi, fam. What's going on, Fred? What's going on, dude?
Love seeing Fred
How's
here.
Glove Box? How's everything going there?
Yeah, hope things are going good over there.
Next
Aaron's?
Says my phone typing is way different as I am on my computer most of the time, so my format is way off in terms of grammar.
Okay.
Aaron's, you are forgiven. I'm sorry. I was just giving you crap, dude.
No. We understood what you meant.
I give people crap because I like them, and you've
been here a long time commenting too, so
years.
Appreciate you for that. Years,
Aaron's. All right, we've got. Have you thought about making more sizes of the 1500 drying towel? 16 by 16, 100 by 100,
Ooh.
like the special edition of the Eagle 500 blanket. So,
That's huge.
I would say stay tuned. There's something coming.
Ooh, okay.
Stay tuned. There's something coming.
We don't want to make it too inconvenient,
No,
you know?
I don't want to give too much away.
Oh, Joey. Says you
you're so
can't wait to
funny.
watch the Evo.
You're so funny. You won't
Well-
go within a foot of that thing.
I don't know. They might want to know where you live and just show up unannounced and wash your cars for you. Be
Yeah.
real thoughtful.
I was thinking about that, Dean. I think we're gonna have such late nights,
We
at
are.
these events that I'm like, I don't even know if we're gonna have the energy to.
Well, are you busy Saturday by any chance?
Yes, because it's pretty much the second to last day I see my family before I disappear for a
I
week.
figured as much.
But
I
we'll
was gonna
see.
be showing the guys around town, and I wondered maybe if you'd have like, I don't know, an hour to spare at some point.
I might find something. There's a nap time somewhere in the day, so
Okay.
I might have some time
Yeah,
then.
just keep me posted, and we might swing by. All right, Mike G saying version 6 is waiting on my desk. He's talking about Optimum No
Nice,
Rinse.
Mike. I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
So Mike also waiting to check that out.
ProShine says, yo, got carried away chipping off touch-up painted cement
Ooh.
on a Cummins. Ooh, fun stuff. Hope everyone is doing well. We're doing pretty good, man.
I don't envy that job.
Yep.
We got Neil White here saying, will Levi make a special guest appearance next week? Talking about TRCMA.
Levi is always invited. I think that he's got a busy week next week at work.
Yeah.
But just note that they are beginning to do live streams on
Yes.
the Auto Wash YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so feel free to go check those out. I believe he said they're going to be doing them every Friday, is what they're going to do, and go live for an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Are they going
And
to do like Q&A, kind of like what we do here?
I think it's kind of Q&A, a lot of detailing lore. They're going to kind of
okay.
They're going to be kind of covering
More
a lot
tailored
of stuff.
towards their expertise.
Yeah,
on
like
that
detailing
side. Yeah.
history, backgrounds
fun.
and detailing. I think they have both. I mean, between Dylan and Levi, I think they have so many stories.
There's
to
enough
tell.
stories there
So,
to last a long time.
But Levi called me literally just yesterday. I mean, me and Levi still talk on the phone like 4 times
Yeah,
a week.
He called me yesterday too.
And that man now sends me. So he started finally like learning how to like watch not learning, but like he got really into TikTok, or not TikTok, but Instagram Reels.
Okay.
He sends me
so many.
20 reels per day.
Okay, I don't know about that many,
And I'm
but
like, Levi.
I get at least like 10, 12.
because back in the day, he used to be like, "Oh, hey, check this out," and just show us.
yeah.
Now he's just like, I gotta send it to him.
But I appreciate it. It's nice. It's
He's
nice
always,
knowing he's there.
He's always thinking of us, and we're always thinking of him.
Yeah.
So I wish he was here next week, but hey, he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, but you can check them out on their channel too. So Auto Wash Co. All right, then we've got Hans Closen, a new Dane Eats. Let's go.
That would be pretty nice.
Hasn't happened yet, but never say never.
Man, those
Joey,
are so much fun.
cooking?
Those are so
Chris,
much
they
fun.
are fun. The Portuguese beans, honestly, they slap.
The
I love
Dane
them.
Eats so much fun.
That's
Cooking,
good.
possibly, Joey. There might be something.
Yeah. Going live from Express Cafe. Not what I had.
Is
the
Express
cards.
Cafe still open?
Yes. They've been open for
Are you
decades.
gonna take the boys there?
I could. They don't get here till the afternoon, though. By the time they're here, they're basically half an hour to an hour from
What about
closing.
Sunday morning?
Sunday morning, they could probably do that. However, Glenn has them early in the morning for some projects they're shooting here.
Oh,
Because they've got a little
interesting.
something they got to work on.
Arts and crafts.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Sydney will have them for a while. Like, we're passing them around the valley.
They're the kids. Is
yeah.
what they are.
No, it's just like, who has custody today?
Okay.
Except these kids can drive.
Yeah.
Neil, Dana's correct. Duel the Fates is awesome. Wish they hadn't have killed off Maul for the series. Well, I feel you there. That's how I felt as a kid watching it. I was like 10 when that came out. Joey.
I hope Duel of the Fates is busting when the Flex pulls up at the airport on
Dude,
Saturday.
I should just do that.
You
I'll
should.
pick those guys up at the airport. Heck
Dane, can I ask you a serious question?
yeah.
How clean is the inside of the Flex's interior?
Not clean enough.
So you're going to pick up
Yep.
some of our biggest fans of detailing
Yep.
in a filthy Ford Flex.
The outside's clean.
Dane, that's not right. You need to clean that thing.
It recently took a
Dane,
ski trip.
You are the prince of the rag company.
I know.
You have, I don't care if it's a ski trip, vacuum that damn thing.
Yeah, we can vacuum it.
Vacuum it,
Yeah.
clean it, throw it, maybe do an express cleanup.
But
maybe
you know
throw
what?
some Swift or Top Star
It's
in there.
not. I have a different way of looking at these things. You see like, oh my God, how you could present them with a dirty vehicle. To me, it's like, look at this cool opportunity for all of us to have a shared experience detailing this car together. These people love detailing.
Alex, everybody that's coming to TRCMA, do not clean Dane's vehicle. You're
absolutely. We will all chip in and we will give the best possible experience of that Flex's interior.
No,
there's still dog hair in there. So yeah,
we're just enabling this behavior for the rest of his life. It's not right.
Well, you guys always need subject cars, and I'm always happy to provide them. They get dirty, we leave it.
Moving on. Next up.
Yep.
Aaron says, I spent most of my time on my computer when commenting, and since their word limit for small screen phone, I'm just giving you crap, man. I'm sorry. Lloyd G says, been having some success using FSC on water spots on chrome finishes. Actually, yep, that's awesome.
For those who don't know,
yeah,
finished spray exterior. That's what FE stands for.
So finished spray exterior, I think, truthfully, everybody should have a bottle of that in their cabinet. It is fantastic. It is not something that you will always use, but it is that perfect middle ground water spot remover between where a water spot has just started, but before it has essentially etched or really got to the point of now needing some type of compound to remove. So
it bridges the gap.
Well, it's less aggressive than like the G-Technic water spot remover, right? But it's something that you can technically use on everything. Just keep in mind, though, it's on coatings, you want to limit its use. Like, it's not something you want to use as a drying aid with every wash or anything like that. You would use it on a coating if you knew that you were using hard water or washing in the sun. That's the best place to use it. It's just, I know that chemically it will cause a little bit of, it's just a little bit harsher on the coating, I should say.
It might potentially degrade,
but
depending
door
on what
jams,
object.
baby. Yeah. Door jams, anywhere where you've collected water spots or you've just had some stuff that's just been a pain, FSE is awesome.
Now, one thing I'll say, because maybe if somebody's not super familiar with the product and they're like, why don't I just use a water spot remover then? The reason FSC is cool is because unlike a regular water spot remover, which can be pretty harsh and you still need something to neutralize it after, FSC is all self-contained. So the idea is you spray with it, you can get rid of some of those early, minerals, whatever happens to get on there. The water spots, if they're fresh, that's the time to use FSC, and it wipes off. You can just wipe it straight off. You don't need to neutralize it with something because it's all self-contained in the product.
Yep, agreed.
And that's the big difference between FSC and an otherwise dedicated water spot remover.
Yeah. Everybody needs a bottle of FSE, though. Again, you'll find a use for it, and you'll be like, "This is totally worth the $20 or whatever it is." Dane, it's still there because I don't know how to remove it.
He's talking about the tires and parens above on his name. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Look Who's Talking trilogy is a gem. We should watch those this weekend.
Joey, so I hope you know, Dean, Joey wants to hang out with you like as friends. Like,
I'd love
Joey
that.
wants to have a sleepover and he wants to get snacks.
Joey, I'll hang out with you. We'll have snacks. Alex will be there too. We'll all just have a big old
He wants to have fun.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm there. I have children.
You have responsibilities. I
responsibilities.
Understand. But if you happen to break away from those at some point, you have a little free time, feel free to join us.
Usually at night, I'm a pretty free man. You know, there's a YouTuber, All Night somebody.
Well, yeah,
All Night Tony.
He's got to shoot his videos at some point.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Joey. Oh, Joey, you silly goose.
Joey.
You're so silly. All right, Aaron's with many detailing products left and right coming out what seems like every month. What detailing products you come back to as your tried and true ones? I would say O&R is way up there as far as like products that no matter how many times somebody comes out with something new or different or whatever, Optimum No Rinse is always the one you can count on.
O&R, GSF, Brake Buster, Express Interior Cleaner.
They stand the test of time.
Paint Gloss. What else is? I mean, there's so many other solids out there. I mean, G-Technic EXO or CSL and EXO is a coating.
Love that combo.
Always a solid. Will never not be good. Gosh, man. I mean, and now even ADS, right, with some of the newer stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some staples in their line that I think people are going to love forever. Shampoo Plus, Wheel Cleaner, Hero. Yeah, there's
people
some good
love
stuff.
and Amplify. Yeah, no, it's stuff you can count on.
Bead Maker, of course.
Bead Maker is...
How did I miss Bead Maker in that
fairness,
lineup?
I feel like the amount of just controversy saying bead maker seems to cause every time online, people get bothered by it because they go, oh, something else is better, something else lasts longer, something else, blah, blah. It's like, have you ever considered that we just like using bead maker because we like using bead maker?
Yeah, it brings me happiness.
It makes me happy.
Walking in the studio and smelling it, and I go, who's using bead maker?
It makes me happy. Unlike the smell I'm getting right now.
Yeah, Carson, are you using Iron Buster?
I am.
Yep.
This is a dirty Jeep. It needs a full decon, that's for sure.
What did you use in the engine bay, Carson?
Used a little bit of Green Star.
Okay.
Well, the Iron Buster is wafting over here
Potent.
pretty
I am
heavily.
sorry, fellas.
It's okay. We knew it was
got to be this
coming.
way, you know?
That's all right. I'm sure it's okay for us to...
Well, if it's good for us, imagine how it is for him. Yeah. So
Okay, moving on.
Next up, we got Alpha Tango here. Cemetery Man is my all-time... How did I manage that? Like, nobody else knows what I'm talking about when I say Cemetery Man, but you get it? That's awesome. There was a similar one around the same time, super graphic. I don't remember the name of it. A guy was using a lawnmower to chop up the undead. Okay, yeah. All right, cool.
What?
Not to be confused with Lawnmower Man, the one with Pierce Brosnan that was like all the crazy VR stuff, digital stuff. Okay. That one's a little different. But anyway, I love that you know what I was talking about, because that is a off-the-wall weird movie, Italian, dubbed, all that stuff. Anyway, Stodgy Mantis here. Hello from Port Angeles, Washington. Question for Dane. Have you visited Squim since you moved? Yes, actually. I used to visit like every few years after I left there. I would still go back because I moved away from there clear back in 2001. That was a long time ago, but I've visited a few times since. Not in the last, probably not in the last 15 years, though. I haven't been there. So I need to go back at some point.
Yeah.
And I think I plan to do that sometime soon. So to answer your question, Stodgy Mantis, not lately, but how's Port Angeles looking these days? I remember going to Norfolk, Virginia, and I kept telling these guys it reminded me of Port Angeles in some ways. If you went there, I'd be curious to see if you agreed. But anyway, random callback. Thanks for that, Stodgy. All right, next up, we got Joey. I personally simplified my lineup with KCX, PNS, and ADS. Hard to go wrong with any combo of products from those three.
Yeah, I agree.
Amber Atkinson throwing out Royal Tenenbaums. Yes, another wonderful Wes Anderson movie that people enjoy. Joey Belinsky. Here we go, Anthony. It's coming from Joey.
Detailing question. I used AWH this week, alkaline wheel cleaner, 5-to-1 in IK foamer. Amazing. Do you find that it also works this well in a sprayer in this dilution, or would you use a different one? No, dude, that combo's money. All of my times of using alkaline wheel cleaner, I've always ran it like 10-to-1. That's just kind of been my go-to.
That's exactly what I'm running.
Is that what you're running right now?
Nice.
10-to-1.
I switched.
5-to-1 is going to put on a better show in the foamer, but I mean, in terms of just the overall functionality of it, 5-to-1, 10-to-1. I think that you guys are you're the cling though that you're going to get from a foamer is going to be amazing.
Okay.
And that also too, just that initial effect of hitting the tires is also going to put on a way better show in the foamer. But you can still agitate it. You can still build up a froth if you want to start really scrubbing and doing some deep tire cleaning. But alkaline wheel cleaner, man, killer stuff. It's good stuff.
Great stuff. We got Alex Dewar here pointing out some bit of deep TRC lore here. Look at that Canada spec Jeep. That's right. Glenn very proudly points out that her Jeep Wrangler, I believe it's a 2005, not an 06, but an 05.
No, it's 06.
Is it an 06? Man,
06.
that was literally the last year they made the TJs then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they went to the JK and gave it a minivan motor. Anyway, this has got the famous 4-liter inline 6, but this one is in fact a Canadian domestic market one. So it was sold in Canada to somebody who lived in Canada and then eventually found its way back down here to the U.S. So it's got some funky little features that are like Canada-only things in it. Anyway, Glenn would probably be happy if I mentioned that to you, so that's why I'm saying it. All right, next up. What name did we give him? Chief?
Chief says, hey guys, popping back in with a couple questions. I use Smart Fabric on the front seats of my work truck, a 2024 F-150. Yesterday I used Cum Absolute to wipe down a spot on the seat. I used some Absolute. And it seems that the rinseless just soaked into the fabric and there was no beading as seen on TV or YouTube that I've seen. How much of the Smart Fabric did you spray? because he's doing a side-by-side of the comparison of Swift and Pilot. Both products clean well, and I like the darkening of Swift, but I think I need a gallon of each. What are your thoughts between the two? So I gravitate way more towards Pilot than I do Swift. That's just me personally. I like the finish of Pilot more so than Swift. Some people like a little bit more of a sheen. Swift can be kind of knocked down a little bit, but again, you are going to get more of that kind of dressed look with Swift. Pilot's definitely more of my wheelhouse, and especially since it still has UV protection. I'm wondering how much that smart fabric did you use? Every smart fabric application I've done, I soak it, dude.
Yeah.
Like I saturate that fabric in smart fabric. When I did, I have some bar stools at my house that I coated, knowing that my daughter would probably spill some things on it. I saturated it. So I mean, I used a whole bottle. I used a whole bottle on 4 chairs. And I went to town to where pretty much everything was wet. And then I let it set up. It took about half a day for everything to start drying out. And then I did my water check on it a day later. And, dude, it was just, water's just rolling off. It was actually funny because it pooled up in a spot and just held there in this beautiful bubble of water. And it's a cool trick for sure.
Well, that's nice to see. So, thank you, Chief, for that great question there. Brilliance Auto Spa with a technical note. Nick can probably take advantage of this. The noise floor is super high. I can hear it with the speakers on my phone. All right, noted. I'm sure Nick will make the most of that sometime later. Detailing Vibes 2006. Did anybody know Dane likes the FTW, Motorplast, and he doesn't like Toyota Tacoma transmissions? Specifically, the second to most recent generation of Toyota Tacoma automatic transmission. I was not a fan of it in my 2020 model.
Dane makes that very well known.
I just didn't like the tuning. I felt like if they changed whatever the tuning was in the module, the computer module, it probably would have made it a lot more pleasant. But it just, for whatever reason, it was weird and laggy and indecisive. All right. Tamara Chase.
I can always buy a Gamma lid, and if it doesn't fit, I can always pick up a new bucket.
Also true. Nobody's ever mad that they have a Gamma lid.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll find a use for it regardless.
Joey says, the airport gives me anxiety, not so much the plane. I just like getting to my destination and getting home. Pharmaceuticals do assist. Okay, Joey.
Okay. Noted.
What you got to do, man. I share Anthony's disdain for turbulence. Yeah. Fun.
I'm not saying I enjoy it. I'm just saying, like, I accept that it's part of life flying on a plane.
It catches me off guard. It's always like,
yeah, if it was predictable, then
it's like somebody jumping out and scaring you, and you're like, stop scaring me. But
you ever notice maybe it's just because I fly Delta a lot. Maybe they say something else on other airlines, but you notice how they don't say turbulence anymore? They always just call it rough air.
Yeah,
rough air. Yeah. Somebody got a memo or something like a few years back, and they all just stopped saying turbulence. So I wonder if it's just because that movie came out a long time ago called Turbulence, and everybody went, "Oh, yikes! I don't like that."
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
Rough air though does sound nicer. Though.
It sounds nicer, but like to me, it just feels like lipstick on a pig.
I like it because they go, "Hey, we're going to be going through some small patches of rough air." Oh, okay.
Okay, you're going to experience some turbulence.
We're getting some pretty turbulent areas, and you go, "Oh my god, okay."
It's like when you're rafting, it's like we're going to go through some rapids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some slight water bumps. Okay.
Dead Man's Pass. Something like that. So, any pilots out there? I know we have some who listen. Tell us, is there like a reason for that? I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Back to Chief here.
I am super stoked for the detail desk and Alex and JB, as well as seeing all the products. What's the deal with TRCMA website showing buttons to shopping for products you don't currently carry?
I know that they're working on some new stuff on the website.
Products that we don't currently carry.
TRCMA-centric things.
I wonder what those are.
Could be testing things. I haven't looked in the last couple days to see, so maybe you're seeing something that we haven't seen yet. Messing with you, Dane. Hope y'all have a great Friday Eve. Well, thank you, Detailing Vibes.
What's Carson cleaning the engine with? A Green Star.
Yep.
Yeah, going through some
Green Star, my friend.
There we go. Neil White, Dane/Anthony. What's your take on Casey reactivation shampoo?
So, to be honest, it is not a shampoo that I use or need.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bad product. I think it definitely serves its
What
place.
scenario would somebody who uses it semi-regularly need to be in?
So the idea was reactivation shampoo would be able to revitalize a coating, right?
Okay.
With hitting it
Yeah.
with a super low pH to see if it could do like a deep clean.
But
right?
still preserve the coating underneath.
Remove maybe some light mineral deposits, remove things that maybe a higher pH wash wouldn't be able to normally remove.
Yeah.
And in doing so, that the coating would respond better, restore its hydrophobic behavior, things like that, right? I mean, it was kind of designed to help with the clogged coatings, but it's also a different type of shampoo that's going to be on the opposite spectrum of a higher alkaline shampoo, right? So if your active foam's at a 9 and you have your super foam coming in at a, 11.5, 12, something like that, this is going to be the opposite end, right? So reactivation shampoo is going to be more on the acidic side of things. And so, man, it's just with the coatings that we've used it on, we found that it was very similar effect for us using it as a higher pH shampoo. I think that's depending on the coating chemical makeup, they might respond better to a reactivation shampoo than a higher pH shampoo. But I just haven't found a situation where I've needed to use it personally. Levi, however, though, Levi loved it. It was like one of Levi's favorites.
No, and you and Levi didn't just agree on everything. There were plenty of products where you guys had differing opinions.
Well, no, but I think it's a needed product. I think that people need there's certain coatings that may need that product. It's none of the coatings I'm using that need that product.
It's a specific scenario, so not everybody's going to find that they necessarily need that.
And so, but Levi was using reactivation shampoo. He was using that because initially it was as a, let's see if we can restore some hydrophobic behavior in coatings, but then he turned it into being his pre-wash shampoo.
Okay.
So he liked the fact that it was more acidic, and because he, coming from an old school detailing background,
he likes acid baths on cars.
He
and
likes
stuff.
that effect, right? Because he feels like it's cutting through a lot more of the stuff than maybe a higher pH wash would, and so he began using that as a pre-wash, and so and had really good luck with it. So I think it also works really well in that case as well.
So like maybe if you're working, for example, on like dealership lot cars that get a lot of water spots and stuff like that, or
water spots, whatever, so anything like that, or shoot, even if you're really just trying to see if you can eliminate what's left of a particular coating, right?
Sure. Okay.
Not a coating, or like a sealant or a wax or whatever. Reactivation shampoo would probably
a coating would be able to withstand
that.
it, but less strong products probably.
And you can also hit it with like a like a high and low. So you can hit it with reactivation shampoo, then you can hit it with something like super foam or active foam, and then you can finish it out with GSF and bring everything back to pH neutral. If you
then
want to
you're
do
literally
that.
doing the whole shock the system thing of bouncing it back and forth on the scale.
If you believe in that, whatever.
Some people do. Some people don't.
Whatever.
Like that, but hey, you know what? You find what works for you.
Lloyd G says, notice the word octane on the Detail Factory boxes. Do you know if it's a specific or limited series? Asking for a friend. So octane is going to be the Detail Factory's very colorful line of products.
That's like the cool, like throwback early 90s, late 80s color scheme stuff. It's kind of vibrant and it's fun.
So they have some... So I actually got a preview of some of the new colors just a few weeks ago. Brian from Detail Factory came over and showed me some of these, and
got some cool stuff coming.
Some pretty cool color combos for sure. Yeah,
I like looking at them because they make me think of like 80s ski jackets and stuff. That kind of vibe.
Yeah,
some real Hot Tub Time Machine type stuff. Yeah, love that. Joey Belinsky. Teal carbon collective buckets are where it's at.
I know you're a big fan of those,
You love
Joey.
that teal. Fine detailing agrees. Detailing vibe agrees. Chief.
Anthony, what's the one thing that everyone needs to buy during TRCMA? So there is one thing that I do recommend buying.
What's that?
But I believe there's only 80. There's only 80 of them.
Oh, like super limited.
So
can we even talk about this yet?
I'm not really going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it without talking about it.
Okay.
There are 80 of these things that we're selling.
Are they more expensive or like more affordable?
No, very affordable.
Okay.
Very affordable. Each one of these things is going to go to a good cause. The profits, I should say, of every one of these is going to go to a amazing cause.
Good. Okay.
So it's for a good thing, but just know there's only 80 of them at this time. There will be more in the following weeks, maybe a month, but just know that we've flown in 80 of the specific thing.
Okay, cool.
That I think people should buy, for sure.
All right,
Yeah.
like the sound of that. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now. It just clicked. Okay, well, cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys to see that. Anyway, moving on. Archie Nerds here, 97. Is Koshemi Green Star good for wheels, just like Breakbuster?
Green Star, dude.
Nuts.
Green Star's in everything, man. That's like a hammer for the entire exterior of the vehicle. I mean,
Yeah.
so Green Star, pre-treatment, bug cleaner, wheel cleaner, tire cleaner, undercarriage cleaner.
Sorry, I said not, making it sound like I was going to say no, but I was going to say not bad.
Engine cleaner. I mean, Green Star does it all, and it's a very good exterior cleaner that's still relatively delicate on surfaces, so it's not going to be overly harsh. Safe.
No, that'll do the job. And Lloyd G, circling back to Breakbuster, does KCX have an equivalent in regards to rust inhibitors? So specifically when it comes to rust inhibitors, because that is a big thing that PNS touts in some of their products.
So, man, I don't know, to be honest. I'm not going to just give you just a random.
Yeah, I don't recall KCX necessarily bringing it up as like a singular thing that they focused on.
RRR is their rapid rust remover.
No,
right?
I know
so
that
that's going
one.
to be there. That's going to be their dedicated fallout remover. That's what they have. I don't know if there's any type of inhibitors left behind following that. To my knowledge, I don't think there is. But yeah, I don't know. There's two products that I can for sure say there's rust inhibitors in, and that's Wide Open Wash in the PNS off-road line, and then Breakbuster wheel and tire cleaner. And I believe Mudbuster actually has rust inhibitors as well.
They did include that in there too, I believe. Lloyd G, so your question here is a perfect example of the kind of question I would like to see during TRCMA,
Oh, yeah,
so I can pose it to the KCX team when they're here. So if you wouldn't mind and you're going to be around for it, throw that question out there again, and I think those guys will be able to answer exactly what you're looking for.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, of course. Juice Free pops in. Let's go. Happy to see you here, Juice. What's up, gang?
What's going on, dude?
Good to see ya. And Detailing Vibes 2006. Good afternoon, guys, from the deep state and smoky North Carolina. Detailing isn't good here because of the wildfires. Air quality sucks. Okay, well,
I hope it gets better, man.
Yeah, it improves, I hope. LSMD Detailing. If a vehicle is ceramic coated, what wax or sealant should you use, if any, at all? You can put sealants over some. I mean, it depends on
something
what
light,
product.
Something light. If it's coated, usually, I mean, the thing is, if it's coated, the goal of the coating is to reject whatever goes on top of it, right? But there's going to be certain toppers that you can put on top of a coating that are going to, I mean, bond or play with that coating a little bit better.
It's one of the reasons we liked Bead Maker so much, is it actually played nice with other coatings.
Bead Maker is a spray sealant that plays really well with like most coatings out there. Amplify is a SiO2 quick detailer from Armor Detail Supply that plays well with most coatings out there. A big fan of Dream Maker from PNS as well on top of coatings. Looks pretty awesome.
That's not going to be protection though, so much as just really good looking.
Yeah, it looks good. It does a little bit of something, but yeah, basically there's a lot of different things you can use nowadays. I just wouldn't go for like a dedicated ceramic sealant or if the brand that it's coated with has a ceramic sealant or a detailer, then usually those compare well with each other. But you don't want to go with like a full on like completely different chemical makeup material spray sealant on top of that coating, because then you could have unwanted buildup.
Yeah.
And that unwanted buildup could start looking really messy, and it can start looking really smeary, and you can tell that there's just too much product on the surface and it's not wiping off properly.
Yeah.
So Bead Maker's good to avoid that if you don't use too much.
Yeah.
The 1500, that reminds me, do not wash it by itself. It walked my my machine out of its cubby and damaged the sides during the spin cycle because it was so full of water. That thing weighs at least 20 pounds. That's a good
weapon.
point. I always recommend washing any of the heavier drying towels, higher GSM drying towels with just other towels or something else in the load.
It's like washing a comforter.
Yeah.
So no, that's a good bit of advice there, off the
Dang, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. Things just marching to the beat of its own drummer out there. Jeff C.
I finally washed my car for the first time in almost 6 months. Used OPT touchless decon and followed up with foam and R, but didn't foam it. It was a great wash experience. Nice.
Love seeing that.
Checked water behavior after, and DB36 still looks great with 0 clogging, no toppers needed 18 months in. Heck yeah, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
That's awesome, dude.
And for those who don't know, DB36 is Diamond Protec's Diamond Body 36.
Coating,
so
yeah.
that's a really good coating for them. And Jeff C has been a good long-term tester of it for people to see what it's like. Melissa behind... Lol, you had it the first time right, Dane. Not Baja. Thanks, Gabe. They look great. I kept going with the Baja just in case, because sometimes I'll see the X and I'll think like it's like Oaxaca, kind of thing, or something like that.
Again?
Oaxaca. Anyway, I tried. So Baxa. We'll go with Baxa, Melissa. Thank you. I figured it had to be one of those two. Otherwise, somebody's got some crazy pronunciations going on out there. Rodidi Silva.
Hey, what's the best way to clean plastic wheel wells and how to make them look good? Best way to clean them, really, I mean, grab your favorite APC. Green Star, like we just talked about a little bit ago, from like Coach Kemi is amazing. And you can, pressure washer just won't do it. So you want to grab a nice APC, dilute it to where, 5 to 1, 3 to 1. You want to dilute it stronger because most plastic wheel wells get pretty caked up and they hold up a lot of dirt. So go through, pre-treat everything. You can pre-treat everything dry, let it dwell in the wheel well for a little while, and then pressure wash it out. And then once it's wet, go ahead and take an additional brush, maybe in a bucket with a little bit of soap and water. Take that brush, pre-treat the brush with a little bit more APC, pre-treat the fender liners, and then begin scrubbing. I mean, it's not a pretty process, but if you get in there and put a little elbow grease, you can clean up those fender liners, at least get them to where they're really nice and clean. And then you can follow up with your favorite dressing or solution finish or whatever. What's funny is we actually have a video on this on the Rag Company YouTube channel where I'm actually doing a fender well clean on my RSX.
Oh yeah, you get thorough in that video too.
I actually use I think I use a steamer in that one, but I kind of show you guys the general process, and I think it'll give you everything you're looking for.
Honestly, I don't know of a better video for that that's out there. It's just such a specific thing.
At me when I said, "Hey, I want to make a fender well cleaning video," and everybody goes, "Nobody's going to watch this."
Well, here's the thing: it's not one that's going to do numbers on its first day. It just won't. But long term, it is one of those long-term videos, evergreen content. Someone will find a use for it when they're inevitably looking like, this stuff sucks, trying to figure out how to do it well. Yeah. Oh, hey, look, there's this video for this guy, and he goes super into it. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So check it out. Juice Free, did I hear right that Optimum has a version 6? Yes, you did.
You did hear that right.
All right. So he's stoked. Very, very nice. All right. Now I'm on to page 2. So there are 2 pages to get through. We have less than 10 minutes. Let's get cranking. Joey.
We are the children for the week. That's correct.
Children with a driver's license.
I love dirty flexes.
See, that's why I know they're my bros. They're looking out. Good guys.
That's crazy. Also, ADS tire and wheel cleaners both did amazing at cutting through the winter salt and grime, and BMW brake dust to reset everything. Awesome, Jeff.
Very nice. Yeah, that X5 is being treated very well.
Any recommendations for adding saturation back to a faded soft top? So check out Ragtop products. Ragtop, I mean, I find that their stuff works extremely well. We used to sell it back in the day. We probably need to figure out something in our lineup for soft top convertible tops. But I found that their spray, their aerosol spray, added a nice steep look back to the soft top, and also added protection in the meantime.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Yeah. Oh, Chief asking the tough questions, asking for a friend. Does Chip Cookie have special cookies? Not here.
They do not.
Not here.
I'm sure you could put like some type of like butter over the top of them, though. You know what I mean?
I'm sure somebody could get creative with it, but you're not going to find that at Chip here. Yeah. Juice Free, Jeff C. I hear that ADS was Armor All's Pro line. What? Okay.
Silly goose.
Definitely not the case. Although you hear armor and you start to wonder. I think he's just having fun with the name.
So just to confirm, with the most micro cloth, the longer nap side is the cleaner, and the shorter side is for buffing, window, and quick detailing.
Okay.
With most micro. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, with most microfibers.
So long nap is really going to be more for. It depends on what you're doing with it. I mean, long nap, like, let's just take the creature edge list, for example. So the long nap side I like for general cleaning, right? So whether it's a quick detail or whether it's wheel cleaning, interior cleaning, it could be, wiping a sealant on or something like that. I like the longer nap side. The shorter nap side is going to be better for scrubbing. So shorter nap's going to be better on windows. It's going to be better on actually agitating something. It's going to be better for compound and polish removal. And it's also going to be better for if you're removing a ceramic coating. What's nice is that with a creature, you have a shorter pile and a longer pile. So you can take that shorter pile, you could knock down a coating, right? Knock it down, then flip it over to the longer pile, and then buff it out to remove any type of high spots or any type of streaks.
Yeah, and this is something I've always told people when it comes to different pile lengths of microfiber. Think of it in these terms. When you have the longer pile, kind of like the fingers, the fibers hanging out, it gives like dirt and debris. If you're going over a dirty spot, it gives it somewhere for it to go. It can tuck up into those fibers. There's still somewhere safe, so it's safer on potentially contaminated surfaces, dirty surfaces. Then the kind of danger level goes up if you go over those same surfaces. The shorter the pile gets, because there's less places for that stuff to go. The shorter the fibers get, the shorter the pile gets. Yeah. So that's something to consider. Also, for people who get hung up on, streaks this, streaks that, longer fibers will allow more stuff to pass through. While it's a good thing when you're having dirt and all that stuff happen, it also does let some of the water and other liquid on the surface, other things, also pass through between those fibers. So as you get shorter, like he's saying, it becomes more and more of a clean pass. And tighter weaves will just enhance that even more.
Yep.
That's why you get stuff like pearls. All right. So next up, Tamara Chase. I'm a Stjarnaglass line type of girl. Nice. Love ourselves some Stjarna. And I love Breakbuster, but need something with a bit more bite for stubborn brake dust. Any recommendations?
Alkali wheel cleaner.
There you go.
Try it, Neil. I think you'll like it.
We got Carson Domel here saying, that's my name too.
Oh, nice. We got a couple Carsons
We got a couple Carsons here. All right. Love that. You're getting some love back. All right. Ryan Rigdon, Auto Wash is doing every other Friday.
Oh, every other Friday.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought I said, yeah.
Well,
that's
hey,
what it was.
so, go check them out. And they're going to make an effort of it. So you guys, if you like this and you miss Levi, you can go find him there.
Heck yeah.
And he's got Dylan with him. Dylan's great. Okay. Froz Dink here. I really love Diamond Protex glass coating. It's been awesome. Do they have any outdoor-friendly ceramic coatings, or is there a coating you'd recommend that would be okay to apply outside? Okay, outdoor-friendly, any of the coatings will survive in outdoor conditions. However, application outdoors can get a little tough. So, we had our experience, say, when we went to Switzerland and we were applying in different situations.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember the shop with the big open door.
I pretty much, dude, Diamond Protex coatings, like their Body 36 can be applied outdoors. Their Diamond Glass can be applied. I just wouldn't do it in direct sunlight. I'd try to shift the car towards being, in some shade. But actually, funny enough, there is a coating. I can't say that yet, actually.
Ooh.
There is, okay, just stay tuned. There's something that's going to answer your exact question. That's going to be exactly what it was for.
Be here next week.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really important stuff going on in the world
There
of detailing starting next week.
There's
right
a lot
here
of
on this
important
channel.
stuff.
So
Correct.
Don't be a stranger. Check out TRCMA. Mark those notifications. The little YouTube gives you the button. It'll remind you. If you're logged in, just click notify me, and it'll give you a heads up before they start. And click like on this video. You guys are watching right now. You've been enjoying this so far. Dead Alive is a lawnmower movie. Peter Jackson directed it. Yes, that one is particularly crazy. That's right. Yeah, Peter Jackson was doing that before he was doing Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh,
he was doing horror movies. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And there's some pretty wild ones out there. Yeah. So then we've got, Ryan Rigdon saying Dane Eats is the best. Thanks, buddy. That's a team effort with Anthony and I, and of course everybody behind the scenes. But I don't know. There's a good chemistry there. I enjoy
years,
it.
Dane.
It has literally been years.
It's been like 3 years, 4 years since we've made
For
one.
people who missed them, they're on the podcast channel. They're in the bonus videos. You can go check them
Jeff
out.
C., what are your thoughts on using PNS Crystal Wash for periodic resets of coated wheels? I tried it on a wheel and it cleaned incredibly well with no agitation. I think it's probably fine. Sid would probably be the right person to ask since she uses it all the time.
She loves
I've only
using
used
that
it
stuff.
a couple times.
Yeah. Then I've got Ruddity Silva here saying maybe for stubborn wheel junk, use an acid wheel cleaner.
Yeah, I mean, there's always wheel acid.
Yeah, Steve Pearson here. I just got back home. Thanks for helping me on my Canadian dilemma.
No problem, Steve. We're here for you in case you have any more dilemmas very similar to that. Kui Ocha says,
love that.
If you are doing a rinseless wash setup and you only can choose 5 products to wash the interior and exterior, what chemicals would you choose? Man, dude, if you're doing a rinseless wash, I mean that pretty much takes up 2 chemicals right there that you can account for interior, exterior, and a glass cleaner. So I don't know. That's tough. I would say, if it was me, if you're doing just rinseless, and I'd have your rinseless of choice, I would have an APC of choice. I would have probably dedicated like carpet interior upholstery cleaner. I would have
some kind of protective product.
Yeah, probably
along the lines of a
some
sealant
kind of
or something.
protective product, sealant, spray sealant, something easy. And then I got one more here, and then I'd probably have a dressing.
Okay.
Yeah, a dressing of your choice.
That takes care of your trim and your rubber. So, yeah. There's a good one. All right. And, yeah, Juice was confused just because he saw armor in the name. He was mixing the two up. But, yes, it is very different. Chief, I soaked the seats with smart fabric. I used a 250 mil on the 2 front seats, mostly on the driver's seat. They were wet to the touch after application. Cleaned the day before with PNS Trio.
Weird. I wonder. That might be a good question for the G-Technic guys next week.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Not that we're trying to defer all the questions. It's just there's going to be a lot of the experts here on the spot to answer your questions next week. So,
okay, how close do we, Dane?
We got one page left. We'll cruise through it. Steve Pearson with the buttons to products you don't carry. Eyeballing it, wondering what that's all about. And then I've got Chief asking, is Reflect going to be back in stock next week?
I'm not sure. Not sure. A lot of those went out with the mystery boxes.
Ooh, also true.
Anthony, you haven't lived until you've experienced extreme rough air where luggage falls out and the lady next to you digs her fingernails into your arms. I haven't experienced that yet, but I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I've been on one where like the things got knocked loose briefly, but that was enough for me.
Well, also with the dryer wolf making a comeback, possibly.
All right. And then, so as far as it being available, will it be making a comeback?
For TRCMA?
Just in general, wondering if the drywall.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, fair. Then is ONR V6 available at TRC now? A lot of these new things.
I don't know. I think the listing would be updated when it is, so I don't think it is. I don't want to give you bad information.
Keep an eye on the TRC website. They are updating stuff as fast as they can. If we have stuff in stock, it should show up.
New colors. You heard it here first.
More love for Teal 365s. I want to get those towels looking teal again.
Okay.
Then David Cervantes. I got to go, guys. Have a great weekend. See you at TRCMA. We will see you there.
Thank you.
We'll TRC you there. All right. Chief, will these 80 things go live on the site Monday morning, or will they come out after the segment that relates to them?
They will go out during the segment, so you'll know. You'll know if you stay up on it, Chief, and you keep
when
watching.
The segment happens, you'll say as much.
You'll know.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Hey, Anthony, what do you prefer for interiors? Express Interior from PNS or Kochemi Polestar?
I like both.
I've seen you use both in equal measure.
I think that's what I have at my house. I just use both.
Yeah.
Express Interior, I like diluted at 1-to-1 personally. That's just me. And then Polestar, I dilute anywhere from 10-to-1 to 20-to-1. And that's just a general cleaner I use for a lot of stuff. I also am a big fan of G-Technic Tri-Clean. Big fan of Tri-Clean.
Good
Can you
choice.
guys give any tidbits about OPT's new coating? I'm hoping to learn more next week, Amber, to be honest with you.
That's what we're going to find out.
I talked to Dr. G about that yesterday.
So you guys will get the scoop then. And Chief here used Motorplast this past weekend for the first time. It is a must-have for a quick finish on the engine bay. I agree. I was absolutely in love with how it looked in the engine bay of my Jags. So can't say enough good things about it. If you got plastic covers on stuff, Motorplast makes it look amazing. Ooh, that smells really good now. I'm loving that. Lloyd G, thanks guys. I'll be happy to bring that question up during TRCMA. Perfect, Lloyd. That's exactly why we bring these experts in, able to help answer your questions. And TRCMA is a lot of fun in general anyway. Then we got KCX Motorplast and plastic wheel wells is slept on. Fine detailing, that is an excellent point. Love seeing that. Then I've got about 7 more questions here. Steve, Anthony, I coated my wheels last night with ADS wheel coating. I appreciated the info in your recent coating vid. Thanks for the help.
No problem. I also coated some wheels last night.
Yeah? Yeah. I bet they're looking pretty sweet now.
Looking pretty spiffy, yeah.
When are they going on the truck?
Saturday. I'm excited.
Ooh, so very soon.
Very soon.
Okay.
I'm pumped.
And the one shall remain nameless, a.k.a. Chief. I used an older 1-ounce bottle of solution finish this past weekend. Bought the plastics on a 2011 Subaru Outback with almost 195,000 miles back to life.
Nice.
Excellent.
1 ounce goes a
Love
long
hearing
way.
that. Spilled half the bottle and not have a nice spot on the driveway.
It happens, dude. It happens to the best of us.
That's what happens. Now have a one nice spot on the driveway. Can I apply over the top of the next without having to add more? Yeah.
Just go
over
right
the
over
top
the top
will work
of it.
right on top of solution finish. That's what it was made for. Chris West knew what he was doing with that one.
Details official. What's up, gentlemen? Can't wait for TRCMA. Dude,
Happy to have you there.
Same here, man.
Yeah.
We're pumped.
It'll be fun having all you guys in the comments keeping it lively there. So
when is Crystal Wash coming to the website? I think you have it on Amazon. I used it for the first time this weekend, and it just works. I do not know. I wish I had a better answer for you.
Oh, man.
Carson. Ben. I was just thinking about Bad Taste 20 minutes ago. Peter Jackson's first film turned into Q&A, and someone mentions Dead Alive. Weird.
That's what happens. This kind of Q&A, it just always happens.
I'll do some more testing to add to my TRCMA questions list. Thank you.
Thank you. RJ.
I have the Rad Company foam gun that attaches to the garden hose. Can you explain the significance of turning the dial for me? It's literally just to allow more of that soap mixture to mix with water.
It changes the ratio of the flow.
It just changes the ratio of basically soap to water. I think it works okay.
But it'll never replace a foam can.
No,
it's truly like a totally
can.
different animal because a garden hose just won't produce that much pressure.
Yeah, correct.
But it's something for people who don't want to get a pressure washer.
Hey,
Alpha Tango, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that.
We will see you on Monday. Love that.
We'll see you on Monday. We're excited.
$20. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate that. TLFTW from Hans. One of these days it's going to happen. We're almost caught up. Just a few more here. RJ.
Also, I use literally 3/4 of a bottle wash in my foam gun to wash one standard size SUV because it literally drained the foam gun bottle rapidly. Any way around that? Not really. That's just the nature of that tool, dude. It just sucks up soap and water. It honestly does.
Yeah. I mean, I would say for other uses, I would use like an IK sprayer if I didn't mind not having a continuous source of water or something. So it's an alternative, but once again, it will not replace foam cannon.
True.
And then we've got one who shall remain nameless. Chief. Oh, Joey. Thanks for another great Q&A, and see you handsome fellas on Saturday.
Yep.
I will see you at the airport, Joey. We got Chief here. Y'all have a great weekend. Have fun with all your guests. See everyone on Monday. Then Binford 6100. What? I have not seen any of that. That is news to me, buddy.
I don't think
that's a thing.
What's up, guys? Got a lot of asks from you. Keep the content coming. It's possible to do a deep dive in the differences. I would ask that next week, for sure, the PNS segment.
Yeah.
Yep. Ask that next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you covered, though.
Yeah. Ask that next week, Blue Line, for sure. No, you're okay.
Yeah, you're all good, man. New intermediate
Nice.
foam Rupes pads, 5-inch, and Koshemi foam sealant and glass finisher. By the way, is amazing. Glad to
Heck
hear
yeah.
that. And stuff should be getting available here pretty soon. Mm-hmm. All right. What's more durable, full send or Shuttle? Go.
Ask PNS next week.
Okay.
Yep.
They'll have the answer. RJ here, last one.
Thanks.
Oh, and last one.
Monday. We'll see you then.
Yes, and
All
on
right.
that note, that is
Yep.
all our comments here. We will get to you guys with more comments and questions, of course, all during the week next week. We will be doing very long days of straight detailing content with people from all around the world here in the studio from the brands, products you know and love. So, looking forward to that great experience. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend of rest leading up to that. And if you haven't hit like, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, what are you doing, guys? We're going to be doing this like crazy next week, and I don't want you to miss it. Anthony doesn't want you to miss it either.
No, I don't.
Carson, you don't want them to miss it.
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. Making sure everybody's on the same page. Anyway, if you haven't done it already, click on the Notify Me button on days 1, 2, 3, and 4 for TRCMA coming up in our upcoming live streams. It's on the homepage of the Rag Company YouTube channel. That way, you for sure get notified. Otherwise, you can always sign up for the newsletter. How do they do that, Anthony?
Go to the ragcompany.com and sign up for the newsletter. There's actually a newsletter there. Or you can sign up for SMS messages at the TRCMA official website.
Sweet. And that is actually linkable right off the Rag Company website.
Yes,
Just
it
look for the
is.
TRCMA tab up at the top there, and
Yep.
that'll take you to that page. So I just wanted to make sure we got them all out there, got everything covered before we go into the big show next week. So with that said, take care, have a good one, and we'll see you at the big show next week. Take
See
care.
ya.